Welcome everyone to Fireside Casts. Today we are joined by me, Task, and Sunny.
Hello.
Sunny, if you could introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Sunny. Today we're going to be casting main grand finals, and should be an interesting match for sure.
Awesome. Let's go while we're still making sure that everyone is able to connect properly. Let's go over the rosters, Sunny?
Yes, sir. So first we got the roster for Animan Studios Black. We got Squid on Scout, Apple Zoo Soldier, Teets McGee Pyro, Untamed Demo, Wideface on Heavy, Co-NG, Crump on Medic, Tyler, previously known as Wicked, on Sniper, and Pupper on Spy.
And on the hand of Ceviche, we have Scout, we have Earl on Scout, Eddie on Soldier, Simon on Pyro, Hyperion on Demo, Drexo HD on Heavy, Rabbit on NG, Punish on Med, Norful on Sniper, and Busta McNasty on Spy.
Yeah, both these rosters, honestly, I think are pretty even from both sides. Like, these are honestly two of the best teams of, well, quite evidently by how this is grand finals in Maine. I think both these teams are pretty even, and I think this match can go either way.
I definitely agree, especially coming from the fact that back in the regular season, Ceviche won week 6, going 3-4, but Animan automatically hitting back in playoffs, going 2-0.
Yeah, and these teams have scrimmed each other quite a bit throughout the season, and I don't think there is a definite winner between the two. Like, I think they've been going back and forth between maps throughout the season, so from experience too, I don't think there is like one team that you can say is a definite like payload team or a Koth team. I think both teams are have their own ups and downs, but they are very even around the board.
I definitely agree, especially coming up with the fact that I have been watching one of my mentees, Pupper, who is on the side of Animan. Definitely have a little bias, but I'll try and make sure that I am able to see both sides of this match. Maybe I'll even yell at him a bit for not doing exactly what I tell him to.
We'll see. Spy is interesting class. Sometimes, I mean, I want your opinion on something. What do you think Upward as a map for Spy? I hear conflicting things.
I think that a lot of spies can definitely agree that it's all well and good up until last. Up until the wretched dispenser spot on blast.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Man, it's just the whole last hold in general around tiles is so rough for just not just Spy, but some classes in general just have a hard time with that last hold revolving so much around the Ubers and combo.
I definitely agree, and I'm starting to wonder how it's going to be on last, considering the fact that the meta has definitely changed from seasons prior, from when we've played together, Sunny, back a few seasons ago, going from the tiles hold to now the pubber hold. We'll see if either team actually knows how to push and how to hold on those specific on this change.
Yeah, and one thing that's really interesting about this last is the being able to recover from losing tiles and doing the pub hold, and then possibly even getting back into tiles if you do wipe the enemy team, and then having that such longer hold because of it.
I definitely agree. It definitely seems like it's going to be a hard-fought battle for not only both teams, but also for specific players. Speaking of, who do you think is going to be the favorites for tonight?
I do want to say Animan probably is the favorites going into it by a tiny bit. I did say these teams are fairly even almost everywhere, but I do think Animan Studios has a little bit of slight edge when it comes to Demo Man. I think Untamed is definitely one of like the few players to watch in this game that can make a huge difference. Demo obviously being a huge impact class, but not just that, but being able to exploit maybe some of the weaknesses on CDT. We'll see if it happens. That's who I'm watching.
I definitely understand. I think looking at both these teams, you know, I really gotta push it out for the underdogs. You know, want to make sure that we get an interesting cast tonight, and maybe even a bracket reset. But even before all that starts, you first gotta play the match. Seems like we're starting now.
Yeah, we are live. That is one thing I do want to quickly mention, though. If this is a victory by CDT, it does go into a bracket reset for next week. So it is that is from Animan Studios coming from the winner side of playoffs, and CDT coming from the loser side of playoffs. So this is a best of 3 being played map-wise, but it is technically a best of 3 series that Animan Studios already has a 1 advantage for.
Yep. Seems like we're starting to have a pretty standard first hold. Stickies on both sides of spawn, with players sitting in their respective places. We have our soldier on the side area. Combo members sitting where they are. Our heavy going on brass beasts on playground. Seems to be something that's very common nowadays.
Nukanga gave me that theory that every minigun is usable, and Brass Beast, first defense upward.
Definitely agree. And with these spawn doors closing out, we get to finally see what each teams are doing. First pick of the night, going to Untamed for Eddie. Crit 6 outside the door.
And that's going to deny the bomb, right? Like, that denies sack waves quite a bit.
Denies a soldier, bomb doesn't deny every bomb. The demo's in already. Seems all the stacks are going in. Snipers are dying. Everyone's dead, and there's the first sack attempt.
And yeah, it's pretty easily denied. At the same time, though, we did get Busta McNasty taking out the telly, so any picks dying from the red is going to be a long respawn, and that includes Sniper. So we shall see if that Sniper pick means anything from CDT. It does look like they are going to take that exchange now, and it is going to be a Pyro versus Demo exchange. Hyperion does get a few flashes out, but in the end, not too much space made, just getting Ubers on both sides. And now we're going to be seeing the fight for space around Playground, but the Scout coming in and taking out the eating heavy in the back.
By getting on Hyperion, completely denying the push, but still, Norfolk being up completely ensures that like the red cannot push forward. With
Simon
this
taking
situation, red
space.
needs to leave. We need to watch out for these bombs though, making sure that no one dies. Crump going down to 100 HP. Hyperion being launched off the cliff.
CDT just wanting to take early space with Sniper here. It doesn't seem like they're too content on taking the space with their Sniper. Their Sniper has a deep angle. They just don't have their Demo to take the space with them. So they are just going to work the cart time, play a little bit slower. We do have the... Is that Battalions popped? And the soldier gets stabbed immediately by Busta. That's a huge stab.
Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Though I'm very sure that that banner probably would have done much considering the enemy team was already out. Immediately, Norfolk changing the pace of the game, getting a pick onto Tyler. Walking forward, the combo. They're about to take an exchange. They do. Demo is almost dropped on the side of red. Seems it's just an exchange between two demo classes.
But red is already down 4.
Red is losing this point, having to hold passive. Hyperion automatically getting forward setup. I wonder if they're already setting up towards Trax.
Yeah, this refight from Trax is actually not too bad with the sniper sideline and Untamed walking forward. The heavy push, and this is looking really good from Red here, getting all the space back, and they're actually maybe going to look to maybe take Hill as well.
With the cart so far up, though, you might wonder where is this spy going to be, considering it's so close.
Yeah, and on a map like Upward, it doesn't even need to be a spy. Even like NG can go for a cap from Cliff or something.
Definitely. Spy being caught in the back line. Pupper not being able to get the calls. Red having to play passive now because of it. Blue immediately taking all the space with it. Norfolk walking up, trying to take the SVS against Tyler.
Drexel's in a really good position here, even though he failed the carp touch. He's on a decent split area. He has the pack. Yeah, and Red's just gonna get spammed out here.
Yep. All the space taken by Blue.
Animan doesn't have enough players, too, to really hold this third if they are going to get pushed, and it is going to happen. Hyperion right in their face, but Pupper coming in.
For a pick.
Whew.
Fails
very close. But, yeah, CDT taking all the space on third here. Teats fighting Hyperion. Going to get the force out, but it's going to be an exchange. Crump also popping Uber, not able to save his pyro in time. It's very sloppy.
Winning the demo v demo. Taking the, let's see, we're taking the SVS towards main. I believe Blue has this, especially after that SVS win.
But
Eddie
we are going to see a little bit of a refight from Bucket here. There is Apple Zoo and Bucket, but he does get stabbed. That's a huge stab to any... That crushes any kind of refight from the flank, and I think that cart did not stop from second to third. That was really good.
And it seems that Red is actually pushing towards lower, trying to get towards apps, trying to get towards tiles. But, oh my gosh, Crump getting caught out towards the rotate.
Hyperion going big with a... Is that a 4K? He just walked in? No beam?
Wait, look at that. Tyler holding down the cart, though.
Pupper in a position to maybe get a stab on combo. He does get stabbed. Does get caught out. Busta at the same time getting a sniper stab though, so quite a decent push coming in from Blue.
We're being used on the side of Blue, trying to take up high ground in pub spot, but not being denied heavily by Wideface. Red immediately coming out right side of spawn, trying to make sure that cart does not reach up further than it should. And Apple's popping conch, making sure that all the space that was given is taken.
That conch was so big. Not only did it let his players get the space with the extra movement speed, Eddie taking out the medic. What a little bit of a miss rotation, but and now Blue holding a lot of space up in tiles and maybe trying to go for a refight.
So many fights are happening everywhere at once. Red is just losing so many players. Only Heavy and Pupper spot. Ko is trying to do his best to fight against it, and that is the round.
That is an insane time from CDT. I was not expecting Animan to not being able to like pull themselves together. There was just so many staggered fights over and over.
Seems like we'll have quite an interesting match on our hands now. 621 over 4 points.
I mean, it's definitely doable, especially if Blue comes out and gets a drop or something on a sack wave, and you can roll that momentum into second and just it's a winnable time. It's not just give and go, right? But it's an uphill battle.
For sure.
An upward battle, you may say.
I'm not even gonna say anything about that. That was a good joke.
I'm curious if Blue will start with a sack wave or not, because they don't have all the time in the world to really do the sack wave, but if they do the sack wave and it is successful, it is high risk, high reward, right? With this much time left compared to having no time.
Definitely. I honestly think that they should. Because right now, there's really only dead time being put on, considering the car has to walk all the way up to main. Sniper, speaking of, walking up all the way towards main, rotating towards playground, making sure that the sniper does not get free reign.
Yeah, they are going for the sack. The wide face eating buffalo steak. It looks like they're about to get in. Pupper going for a stab on Demo. Incredible stab.
And a drop, even. We missed it.
Apples who drops punish. There is so much chaos and...
The Sentry was too focused on too many players. It was overwhelmed, and Punish got caught in the crossfire. Well, seems Caster's curse ruined another hold once again. Pupper trying to get in the backline, getting ready for this push. Combo walking up with main.
Red still has a telly.
Red does still have a telly. We'll have to see if that plays a huge role, and maybe this refight that's going to be maybe committing.
But actually, CDT all the way out, not committing for a refight.
Pupper dying in the backline of blue, backline of red. Not being able to get any calls. Untamed dying though to sniper pick. Popping battalions, taking back all the space. Red has so much space with his battalions. No headshots really is very, very, very influential.
Yeah, it's not just the sniper angles, but also like your team itself just understands, hey, we're gonna push forward now, and like it just kind of like gives you that rally, right? And now we see blue peeking quite aggressive with their sniper onto hill here. We do see Norfolk going down, so sniper pick in favor of blue. Earl going down as well. Uber being popped from both sides. Blue's gonna have a little bit of a better Uber. Drexa trying to hide inside tunnel, maybe trying to get some picks here. Drexo's oh my god, guess the soldier gets the medic, and he's shooting in the back. He's gonna get the demo as well.
100 HP. He saves this point, but he doesn't notice sniper.
Oh my god! But Ko comes in from the cart and gets two. He gets a lot of space for his team, but I just don't think I don't think his team is able to get the space back in time. Punish out there with Earl, with Simon.
Earl completely cleaning up all these players, getting a 2K inside of side tunnel, making sure that there's no position where flanks can come in.
And yeah, that lets his team just focus on hill, and there's going to be a good hill fight here. Norfolk is the only sniper here.
Punish in the sightline of Spam and Sniper. The combo's so close. And Punish even receiving Uber 50% earlier than the blue. I'm wondering if they're going to take this exchange. They are. Take the ad Uber. Completely obliterating. Tamed is by himself and completely kills him. Period.
I mean, he trades for it, so it's not the worst. But wide face coming in the flank with from side tunnel Apazu with him.
That's exactly why you always make sure if you are taking an Uber ad, you want to make sure that you at least have some flank players to make sure that tunnel does not get overwhelmed.
And that's exactly what happens. They just ignore tunnel. Sure, they got the picks over hill, but they just weren't ready for that positioning from the flank, and that's what's going to win them that point. 250 on the clock. I mean, it's not impossible, but still, it's not the greatest pace for what they had to go up against.
Definitely. Ooh, Trap's almost being popped on Untamed, almost dying.
Pupper getting a big pick on Punish to drop him.
Wow. Oh wait, it comes down to Eddie. Cannot find Crump. 70%. It's going to be a 80% Uber ad.
And it looks like Red is just trying to maybe just sack for Med if they can.
I'm wondering if they can still refight this with Wideface fighting towards Sea House. Earl fighting. Oh,
Applezoo has full bucket control. This is really scary with Applezoo and bucket.
Blue uses trying to clear out Red all through main. They go out through main, picking up Hyperion. But other than that, there are no other picks. But they get third, so I guess you cannot complain much about that.
Nope, they are going to have that forward spawn, and I mean there is sloppy fights still going on all around. Both teams have some picks down. There isn't really a solid hold here in tiles, and both teams are just going to go at each other.
90% on Red. I'm wondering if they're going to take the exchange, if they're going to take the Uber ad. are right under them. They use...
They have a demo there with him. There is a soldier behind in Harry Potter. Keep an eye on him. He might be able to do something in
40
post here.
HP! Oh, dying.
And Punish dropping to lower, trying to leave to maybe spawn, knowing that Tiles isn't safe. And
1 minute on the clock. Pupper making sure there's consistent card time.
it is looking really good for Blue with all the tile space. But we do see Drexo in the heavy spot. The very common heavy spot.
On towards lower, being contested by the heavy towards lower. I'm wondering if they're able to even push off of this.
Teats on the cart, getting it all the way up to the slope. Earl contesting it now. We're going to see a lot of fights going on the cart soon. There just isn't a whole lot of players on red.
Right now, they should be playing passive, making sure that the enemy walks into them. If they play too hastily, then they will lose this point for sure.
Earl getting picked in lower.
With a soldier bomb, although being denied by the level 2 in
Drexo being overwhelmed, but Simon trying to get on cart. Cozy only one cart. 20 HP gets sniped. Big pick by norfell.
10 seconds.
Crump sacking for the cart.
Crump making a massive save. And it's over. 5 seconds on the clock.
Crump was on the cart for so long there and then just jumped off and still healed the players on the cart. That was some Chad medic play.
Really was. I definitely think that as a medic player yourself, you can definitely appreciate that sort of movement.
Yeah, and not only like the movement, but also having the guts to jump on the cart when all the spam's coming on the cart, knowing that, hey, my team's weak, they can't be on the cart, we need to get it up. Just big play.
For sure. I honestly think it really boiled down to the fact that Ceviche was not able to hold as closely as Animan was able to push. Animan definitely got a lot of space that Ceviche just let go for free, simply because of the fact that they were either unprepared or simply unaware of.
Yeah, I feel like both teams did not just have the greatest defense that they wanted, but the offense was just amazing from both sides. So you can't really pin it on one thing. Like, we saw the amazing drop on first. We saw just great momentum from both teams.
I definitely agree. Both of these teams definitely showing their A game.
Looking at the logs, like norfell, 23 picks. That is a big stat line there. 412 DPM. Definitely leading the server. But unfortunately not enough.
Hyperion definitely getting that damage. 460 DPM, although getting just as much damage taken. 426, only 2 damage per minute lower than is heavy. 428 with Drexo HD. I will say though that it does seem that like it is possible for both of these teams to go one-on-one against one another. I was talking to Hyperion earlier today, and he was very pessimistic, thinking that like, yeah, we're gonna lose. But I think they probably had a nice talk. They probably thought about it. They're like, you know what? Even if we do, we better make it at least entertaining for those watching, either at home or even after this cast has ended.
For sure. I think the beauty of TF2 is that it's such a high skill cap ceiling that any day a player can show up, have an amazing day, and make a huge impact in the game, right? Even in Highlander 9v9, where if Applezoo or a Scout or anyone, right, just is having a really good day, they can just control the server.
For sure. I totally agree.
And right now, I think we see that with norfell. norfell 23-6. That's incredible. It's not enough for him to win that round, but without him, I don't think it's as close.
Yeah, it seems as though that Norfolk is just popping more heads. Although I will say that Tupper is definitely trying his best. Getting 5 picks onto Hyperion. Wondering how that will turn out later once maybe Animan realizes that if we get so many demo picks, maybe we'll be able to push off of them. We'll have to see.
Yeah, 5 demo picks is definitely a huge stat. Like 5 demo picks is pretty much like destroying the enemy combo 5 times. It's just unfortunate that those 5 demo picks is not leading to more from his team. Like those holds. I feel like he was also like a big factor for breaking holds, but I feel like when he was getting demo picks, his team was still losing holds to other things.
I definitely agree. You know, one thing I do want to say is that Bustek McNasty is still getting consistent picks, even going even on this match, which is, you know, as you know, even playing Spy for a bit, that is very hard. I suppose we'll have to save it for next round, though. We'll have to see how it goes as we're starting now.
Yeah, we'll see side swap. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a better defense from both teams here. Maybe having a sack wave again, get something. I don't know.
What do you think? There are some points that both like for Ceviche to improve on their defense.
I think the main thing is obviously they can't be dropping on first. That's obviously going to ruin your first. But on second, they lost their second to the tunnel people like, flanking in the side tunnel. They have to keep an eye on tunnel. They have to make sure that not just on second, but on all points that their flank is locked down and they're not overextending. Sorry, with their combo.
Yeah, for sure. Personally, I think it's more about working off of Busta McNasty's calls, considering the fact that he is alive for most of these pushes, most of these fights. So I'm wondering if it's really a diff of comms.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Spondor is being dropped. Norfolk automatically winning the SPS. Combo is walking up.
He was unbuffed for that SPS too.
Crazy. Code dropping too. No, less cart pressure now. Scout having to be pressed on it. Stacks going in.
Applezoo getting a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be really anything, actually.
Entry gun down. Busta McNasty dying as well in the back line. Probably trying to go for a cart pressure as well. Upper running Deadringer and automatically dying. Oh,
yeah, that's sniper things.
Norfolk being extremely caught out towards the flank side.
We're gonna see blue Uber
exchange. Pyro caught in. Eats McGee. Wondering if he'll be make it out alive. No, he will not. I'm wondering if there will ever be any playground pressure. In fact, there is right now. Speak of the devil.
There is quite a bit of a fight going on for Playground. Heavy looking to get on with his soldier, and Blue having a lot of pressure on Playground. Red's going to have to maybe leave here if they don't get that control back, but it is Earl getting the picks on Playground to really get that control back, but it's not enough. Red is too weak. They have to leave. They can't stay in, and it looks like Untamed going for an early bomb.
Team trying to go in. Tyler coming back in. Getting Drexo on his back out.
And wow, what Eddie. A nice collapse coming in. Animan just really good momentum coming in, getting the hill pressure and maybe trying to take even more pressure on the second here while they get the cap time.
Merful ensuring that Tyler cannot go back on that streak.
Animan losing their spy though. This might be refightable for Red.
Hyman coming extremely forward, but Apazoo staying on top of Apps. I'm wondering if he can finally pay the pick up here. Being met
Eddie
by
bombing
Eddie.
Him big pick, but we're gonna see the Uber exchange.
Keats McGee being floated up.
And Crump is stuck. Fighting Punish with the saw. Punish almost dying.
Busta McNasty getting a clean pick onto wide face on Apps, making sure his team is not allowed, making sure his team is allowed to fight even on even ground. Eddie is walking up pipe, walking up apps, ensuring that no one's able to walk forward.
And again, it's just these scrappy fights from both teams, like on high and low ground, where it's very kind of hard to tell who's winning at any given time.
Definitely. I'm wondering, Red is holding so passive despite the fact that Norfolk extremely forward, dying to Pupper because of his aggressiveness.
I don't even think that's his own fault. I think that's more on his team, kind of just falling back and not supporting his angle that he had. And now we're going to see a good little bomb from Applezoo coming in with the push.
Huge bomb, dropping punish! Insane! Ensuring that Animan is able to walk through uncontested. Full Uber ad. Wondering if these sticks are actually going to be able to do something. Hold on. Oof, losing side of the sticks. Crump walking up with this combo. Taking so much space, untamed.
They
use around the corner. Completely stuffing man.
They got all the space in the world, but they don't have too much cart time yet. They need to get all the way up roller coaster and not die in the meantime, and they are down 3, so Medic goes down as well. That's a huge refight coming in from Red, and it's just a cart now, and yeah, they pretty much are going to be able to get a third hold back.
I just want to point out Eddie was the difference maker in that refight, clearing out Applezoo and Whiteface on Bucket, fighting from high ground, and then pushing outwards, catching Grump. Definitely MVP of this specific fight.
Man, Bucket control is so big on this point, and getting a huge flank from Bucket when the enemy team is pushing up, it's just going to be the difference maker. And
Definitely. Bust up Gnassin, trying to get us picked towards lower, completely getting caught up by Co.
Animan Studios does all the catwalk control as well. This is pretty good for them. They just need to keep the space.
Forcing punish. I wonder if they're going to allow Lou to keep his card time. Seems like they're not. Popping banner.
What do you think of this gun by Rabbit?
Genius. I saw it by Rebel. Rebel taught me that. I think it's amazing.
Keeps your gun out of the Uber. It's pretty big.
Make sure that no sea house pressure can be attained by anyone, really.
And yeah, we're going to see Applezoo coming in from Bucket, getting 2 picks of his own. Drexo finally shutting him down, but it is scrappy on both sides. There isn't really a clear winner, and with that gun still up, it's hard for Blue to get this cap time. They did get it up to second hill, but that's all they're going to get. Whiteface going to be shooting the gun, going to be taking down for his effort, and I think this gun spot has just literally saved them this point.
For real, definitely. Plus, Ganassi also getting an early pick on the sniper after the fight was over to make sure their combo could at least get a little bit forward, get some breathing room. Norfolk playing extremely forward on roller coaster, peeking into main. Hyperion becoming in the sightline. I wonder if they're going to be able to peek towards catwalk. Speak of the double, Tyler is going to be taking the SBS towards catwalk.
Norfolk on no buff. Takes it, kills the demo, big pick for him, but it's gonna be spotted. Eddie with a pick onto Wicked, and that's gonna kind of deny the whole push out of Animan Studios here, and this is getting a little bit longer of a third.
For sure. I'm wondering, what do you think that they should be doing right now? Eddie dying in the low ground. The 2 body shots from Norfolk.
Okay, well, both soldiers dead now. We're going to see the Uber exchange coming out. Both Pyros taking a big play in this Uber exchange. Simon being caught in, but so is Teets, and Teets dying first, and Earl getting picked in the meantime. We do see Tyler in a decent spot to maybe get some picks from catwalk.
Finally dies towards Sea House. Maybe huge pressure coming in towards Sea House. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
Whiteface getting in position.
Whiteface in position now, cleaning up low players, and that's going to be the point. Animan Studios, I mean, they kind of just had player advantage. That flank push coming into Sea House was really the difference maker.
For sure, I definitely think that getting that gun dropped was definitely the thing that changed how that point was going. Animan trying to get their combo through lower, trying to get upper control.
And yeah, WCD, like, they don't have tiles, so they're giving up a lot of space here, and it is being called Pupper, or yeah, Pupper did just die, but he did call out to his team.
But
Like, hey,
trying to find a pick on the cart and make sure this
Eddie
cart's
getting a force on a crumb.
It should be. Puzza taking down Wicked, allowing Norfolk to get free space.
And so yeah, we're gonna see the pub hold out of red here. Is it gonna be enough? I don't think the pub hold's gonna be too much. Applezoo trying to get in position to deny.
So much card time. So much card time. They need to be fighting this now. Punish on 95%.
They are gonna pop right away. They need picks with this Uber. Blue's just gonna get spawns and refight. Red don't have the respawn players to fight. And Blue taking their time for the refight. Red's going to get a few spawners. They're only going to be down their spy, so this is going to be a 9v8 if they are going to go for a refight right away.
Wondering what Pupper is thinking exactly right now. Going for the heavy pick, for sure. Definitely the best pick at that very moment. Making sure that that heavy is not allowed to flank. Small job, but definitely will be very worth it in the long run. Even though right now we're kind of in a stalemate, having both teams trying to find any sort of opening. Untamed going down to Norfolk, completely losing the use of this Uber.
We do see Pupper up in the background, trying to get into that back line, but getting shut down immediately. And Blue having a hard time to push without their demo. But we'll see the respawn come in. We'll see some cart time come in, and Red's down quite a few picks, including Scout and Sniper. So, I mean, it's not everyone. And Buzz and McNasty on the cart.
McNasty on Whiteface.
And they are gonna. Red's gonna take that Uber in.
Making sure that heavy does not allow space. Huge drop from Applezoo. Oh no, not
so sloppy from both sides. There isn't. Again, both these teams just want these raw fights that never end. They just keep calling to fight. And it's not really working for the defensive team because Blue is just always respawning faster and taking a telly.
I would have to disagree, considering the fact that we've already been on this point for a solid 3 minutes. It just seems that even with all these fights, Blue cannot find a very strong foothold.
I mean, Norfell is just getting so many picks before and during these fights, but he is going to go down here. Drexo getting a little bit weak, and his team's not in a great spot to support him. This might be the push. Hyperion going down as well from Wicked.
Trying to find a pick. Buster McNasty trying to find a pick on anyone. Is on DR. He's waiting for the perfect time to go in on a wide face.
And there's a bunch of damage, but
he focuses the wrong player. He goes on the untamed.
So 10:53, a way better defensive time.
Yes.
If you can recall, though, the first and second point, they were really fast. There wasn't too much of a defensive hold for first and second. It was mainly that third hold that really slowed them down. But Blast took a few fights, but I don't think it was too much.
I believe that, like, right now, it really is just a wow. You know, I'm looking at Pupper right now, sitting in the very, very predictable spy spot. No one has sat there in a long time. I don't remember the last time someone has really used that in a while. What about you, Sunny?
I dropped to that 2 weeks ago.
That's hilarious. Thank you for that. It's actually crazy.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I'm honestly both impressed and very discouraged by the fact that spies can still use this and that powers do not check it. Let's see here. Immediate SVS win from Wicked onto Norfolk.
And that's the defensive win again. If we recall the first half, like same thing happened where defensive sniper just won the SVS right away. Big bomb coming in from Hyperion. Gonna get some rollers. And gets the force. Eddie.
Bust up Nasty in the backline, trying to find a pick onto this sniper. Running out of cloak though. Having to play on the backline. Trying to get a pick of the scout. Oh my wow.
You know, when you're about to take an Uber ad, any pick's a good pick, you know?
It is true.
Popper's still up in position.
Know. I don't even know if they will need to take an exchange.
Keep an eye on Popper! Oh my... He forces it! He gets the force!
Wow. Hey, that's my mentee. That's my mentee. Yup.
Hey, I know that guy. And Busta coming in and getting a backstab.
Someone tamed on a 3K. How is this allowed? The gun still being up though. Red holding this with banner. Gun down. Teleported down, making sure that all these players have to take a long time to get on, and Busta trying to find pick on a Wicked. Finds it, allowing Hyperion to walk in.
Very grouped up. Animan is very clustered. I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold it. They're gonna have to Uber to really get space here, and yeah, that's gonna be the fight. Really much one for the defense here.
They're gonna need to leave though. Without this Uber, they're gonna be immediately pushed back with 70% ad. I'm wondering if they're gonna know this, or if they're just gonna have to, or if they're just trying to make sure that they're getting as much time as possible.
They have to know. They're leaving before the Uber is even being pulled out, and this might be even worse for them because this could lead into a second. But Wicked pulling out a huge pick onto the demo, stopping that momentum in its tracks.
Buying a Wicked and getting the pick, and he gets away.
Dude, the
I
Spies...
completely understand what you mean.
The Spies... I don't understand, man. Spies in this game are playing like it's not the worst class in the game.
So real, taking the Uber, slight disad.
But we are gonna see the
They do get the Uber in the end. Hyperion dying though. Simon being launched all the way back.
Burrow coming in from side tunnel, looking to get a pick, and he is gonna keep his life as well, so...
Wonder if Norma gets any more picks, considering being so forward. Gets out SVS by Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler winning that SVS is actually huge for his team, because now his team can actually hold this hill a lot better, and I mean, this medic is kind of caught here in a sniper sideline, and...
Playing so passive, allowing Blue to just take the space. Huge round from Apazu, making sure that that scout is not left alive. I'm wondering what will happen now, considering the fact that Untamed just died.
CDT is pushing this without a medic right now, and...
Hit from Norful! Hitting the air shot, giving Apazu a speeding ticket. Popper making sure that Wideface is not able to go in.
And now we see Blue team having their medic. They're going to try and refight this. Red team going to be giving up the space now, finally. And looks like they're just going to give up that second. 7-15 for 2 points. It's a pretty good pace, but I think this is about the same pace as last half, so.
Yep. Definitely very interesting. Wondering what will happen next. Popper looking at his prey towards Cart, trying to find a perfect opening.
He is ready.
Norfolk walking up towards main, trying to take any sort of SVS. Punish dying! And Hyperion getting the pick onto Hyperion. Wow.
And Busta McNatt, dude, these spies, like, I need to be on these spies camp more. Like, these guys are just constantly getting picks, like, both spies.
Really turning up to 100. Norfolk killing Teets McGee, making sure there's no spam reflection.
And Punish coming back and healing his demo, so we are going to see quite a bit of a push refight. Looks like
Trump though. I'm wondering if they're gonna want to take this Uber. I'm wondering if Popper is even able to take this exchange.
But
is Popper in position? He's on
Simon's in position to deny.
Oh my gosh. Norfolk got launched off the cliff by Teets.
So it looks like we are gonna just kind of be at more of another stalemate. Cart's not really going up. Popper on Cart
getting wicked. Pupper trying to get a pick, but getting caught up by Simon. And it just seems that cart is all the way up. They cannot take this fight. If they do, they're just gonna be met with an Uber ad.
Puzza
almost got the pick. Being saved though. One really is a nail biter game. Wondering what will happen next. Immediate exchange being taken. 95% on the med though. Healing a sniper trying to make it
yet. And I mean, he uses on a sniper.
Onto no one.
And,
but
yeah,
huge pitch from Applezoo, ensuring that tiles can still be fought. But he leaves and dies because he went out towards a man. Huge push. They're 5 down on red. Blue getting consistent card time from Earl.
And now we're gonna see Eddie with the big bomb into Puff
Lagging
spot.
out!
It doesn't even matter. He drew the eyes. That's all he needed to do.
And
CDT
that is the half. 2-0 on Animan's pick.
That is incredible. Was not expecting that. This was Animan's pick, you said?
I believe so. Looking back. I'll have to make sure that I'm not spreading misinformation. Last thing I would want to do.
That is... I was expecting a much closer payload defense there.
It was indeed Animan's pick.
Wow. That was a... I feel like Animan definitely came in knowing strategies for their offense, but I just feel like defensively they kind of fell apart in quite a few areas. They just overstayed fights and just were down players. And third, for example, they just let the enemy team get so much space up. And yeah, they just didn't have as much control as CDT did. Like, if you remember CDT's defense on third, they had that great sea house control with the sentry gun, but they also had their bucket control at all times, and their medic was pretty safe with their combo, right? Their combo, they had everything pretty much locked down. But then you go and you look at Animan's hold, and there was some gaps in it, right? We saw the heavy coming in from WCD and just coming in from Sea House.
So sorry. I need to pick my mouth from the floor. Bust the Big Nasty going 24-13, 536 DPM.
Yeah, and Norfell right there beside him too on sniper. So the pick classes, both of them. I mean, normally we see one up there, we don't see the other.
Sure. All knife picks. If there has ever been a more knife spy in all of RGL, I think
100% damage knife. That is a skill right there.
For as much as the knife is cheese, definitely gets kills.
23 backstabs, incredible stat.
Wait, that means that one of those picks was a butter knife.
What, you think he's gonna? You think this guy uses his revolver?
That is crazy. As much as I yell at Pupper for not using his revolver and always using his knife, I love to say, when used correctly, yeah, it goes hard. Speaking of Pupper, unfortunate stat line, 1021.5 KD, life of a spy man, for real.
Yeah, I feel like that, looking on the first round, it was a very close round, right? But everyone was very close stat-wise, the engineers, the heavies, everything was very close stat-wise. But now we go to the second half, and now that spy gap is here, and that's really, I think, the deciding factor of that half, right? Is Busta just popping off, right? And if Pupper kept up, I think if Pupper also popped off, I feel like that would have been close, right? But just, man, I mean, you can't just set expectations to top frag, so on Spy.
It is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. Though sometimes that's just how it is.
But
Shout out Kaboom Collective.
again though, I feel like the demos are pretty even, the soldiers are pretty even. I feel like these both soldiers are playing incredibly well, bombing at really great times, getting really meaningful picks in space. But stat wise, they're not like incredible, but in the server they are doing so much, and both of them are like very even, I think.
For sure, the amount of space Applezu and Eddie make, and the picks that they collapse onto, that they ensure for their own team is absolutely insane.
One thing I want to keep an eye on going into next map is scouts. I feel like both scouts really didn't have too much space on upward. It is being upward, I think, one of scouts' worst maps. But we do see Earl.
You know what I just realized?
What's
We
that?
did spread information. Animan won the first half off 5 seconds. It is 1-1 currently.
It is 1-1.
The deciding factor. Wow. Well, we'll have to see how these teams shape up for the third half. Truly, truly, truly nail-biting grand finals. I'm really hoping Advanced is doing just as well. Shout out Fireside Casts, the original channel. Shout out to Siyo for allowing us to be on here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys ever need to watch more TF2 action, make sure to check out Fireside Cast. So you have a lot of casts they do all throughout the week, not just Highlander, sixes as well, throughout all the divisions. So make sure to check out both their channels. They also got a cool little merch store you can check out.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Oof. You know, I really think. What do you think that? All right, now that we've seen both halves, now that we've seen both teams win, what do you think will be the deciding factor?
I mean, after that round, Busta is just like the name I just want to just say after, that performance. If he does what he just did again, no doubt in my mind his team is going to win, right? But at the same time, like, Animan Studios is not some team that isn't going to adapt, right? Like, they have knowledgeable players that will shut down a spy. So it's not just going to be a open and close kind of game, I think.
For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I definitely think the same. I'm wondering what kind of adaptations they will make though for Buster McNasty, considering the fact that he is primarily a knife spy, meaning that he is very, very close to the enemy combo and towards the flanks. So I'm wondering if they will start calling spy time, or if they'll start making their scout make more laps around their team. Wondering what will happen. Play it like Wymeo. Somebody help. Shout out.
I know from personal experience, when a spy starts rolling your team, the comms kind of just get frustrated because, like, everyone just kind of blames each other, and there isn't like a solid, like, everybody just like, just spy check, huh, huh. Everybody just wants to say that to each other, but they're also to blame. So it's hard to just simply counter a spy, but everybody has to do their part, right?
Yep.
And
it seems we are getting ready. Never mind, we are completely baited. Ooh. Talk about a very crazy night.
I think the difference for both teams, like, not just player-wise going into this round, is going to be the defense. If we see like a solid defense from second, like, we never really saw teams do a hill hold. The only hill hold we really saw was when I think Animan Studios pushed over hill and then got flanked from side tunnel and all died. And I think that was like the only hill hold that we saw. So
yeah,
I want to see more hill holds, more aggression on second from the defenders, but also, you know, maybe we'll see some more tile holds as well, because I don't think there was too many tile holds. A lot of pub holds on last, but
Yep, yep, yep. Oof. I am. It is so crazy being here. Sunny, don't you feel nostalgic? Considering
uh,
you've been in the same spot before, haven't you? Main grand finals.
many moons ago,
Those are good times.
they were. It's definitely different experience coming into the scene with fresh eyes and just kind of trying to like climb up the divisions and not really knowing what's going on. And then after playing for a few seasons, it's a little bit different. But it's cool. It's definitely both give a different experience. And
You know, from someone who has so much experience, who do you think is the out of both these teams, who do you think is the main person who is making a big impact, even though they are an unknown player, I suppose is the best way to put it.
I mean, most of these names I've seen before. Busta McNasty, I've not seen before.
I can definitely attest to that.
And man, this guy, he's got the spy profile picture. I don't know if this guy's playing main next season. That's all I'm gonna say. This guy is insane.
After that performance, 530 DPM. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Against Heath McGee as well.
Yeah, Teets is a smart player, right? He's played Demo, he's played Pyro, he's played quite a bit of few other classes. It's not like he's some AIM Kovix main, you know?
Yeah. I suppose we'll have to see what happens this next half. 15 seconds on the clock. Sticks extremely passive now. Oh, I love these
Yeah.
sticks. Oh, I love these sticks. They remind me of my old Demo Man Kane. Shout out the Move Collective. We're getting ready. Sunny, take it away, big bro.
So right away, just early cart time, early cart pressure. Doesn't look like we're going to see an early SVS right away. Maybe we'll see one now. Nope, just the bomb coming in from CDC. CDT getting the demo in, and that demo's in a decent spot, but Crump in the corner and getting the health pack, getting the dispenser, having that brass piece heavy, and that sack completely denied. Pupper's in a pretty decent spot on the roof here, and we'll see a decent, probably cloak on the flank here.
Looks like Minasi trying to get through the flank. Made it through.
Punish coming out of spawn. We do see Beam coming out from blue.
Yeah,
Looks like there's going to be exchange coming out.
Here's your main reflected towards a pyro. Eddie trying to take his best shot at trying to get playground, although by himself is not able to control anything.
Blue lost 3 players during the Uber. They just got 1 back, but it's not a great post fight. Untamed, really aggressive on the stairs. He's getting some good damage, and Punish has to leave. Pupper also behind, caught out by Pyro, and there goes Pyro. Yeah.
Plus, Minasi trying to get towards the flank, trying to make sure get some
Hyperion,
sort of
1 HP on cart. Both demos are 1 HP right now.
Popping banner on the side of Applezoo. Getting supreme card time, even though the fact that Punish actually has slight distance at 10%, maybe not meaning much. Although in the heat of the moment, 10% really can determine a win or a loss.
Yeah, what we need to see right now is Animan Studios not balling into this corner like they are right now. We need to see them more out with Applezoo supporting him. And more on the left flank. And we do see the exchange coming out, so let's just see. They have a lot of space. Are they going to ball up for post, or are they going to take the space? And looks like they have space right now, so it's good. And a big pick on Hyperion.
And Busta
gets 2!
Complete destruction.
And he's wrapping around. He's coming back, but Blue doesn't have the numbers to really refight with those picks, and Busta not able to get any more. And that's going to be pretty much the whole fight out of blue.
Wicked still holding upper. Even rotating. Blue forcing this fight, actually. With Norfolk holding down main, making sure no one is able to peek for free.
They do lose both their hit scan classes, though. NG and Scout dying. Going to be a little bit harder to push that cart. And Red seeing that, getting the space back, Untamed, peeking pretty wide, but Crump
Eddie
getting...
dying, Simon dying, Dispenser being down on the side of Red, although not a major pick.
Hyperion sacks. Hyperion gets the sack.
Oh my, wow.
Red still has the teleporter and are going to commit to holding without their medic. This is actually a good play. I like this. We'll see. There's Busta actually taking the telly from the medic.
What? I wonder if they're going to be able to commit on this, though. Busta maybe keep looking right now, going on the pick on the sniper.
Oh my god.
The stab on the sniper. Oh, almost got the stab on the NG. Med dying to a huge bomb.
And yeah, those bombs coming in from Hyperion and Eddie are going to get the med kill, and they're not even punished for it. They're living.
Low stick on the Cove. Wonder if he'll hold the corner close. He does. Hyperion going 40 HP. Oh, Ko and I would have secured the kill.
Again, we just see, like, Animan Studios not holding second at all. They just hold first until they give up all the space on second. They have been known to refight here from tracks pretty well, but Untamed dying and Uber coming in, it's going to be really hard for them to refight this, and Crump is leaving all the way out.
Wicked
getting some good damage.
Game forward, getting a pick, maybe. Oof. Busta McNessie trying to get something towards man, dying though. Norfolk trying to get a pick towards roller coaster.
So now we just have some kind of dead off time. We'll see maybe Blue try and take some positioning, but I mean, it's gonna wait for the cart, maybe wait for some Ubers.
I will say, I do think that no second hold was due to the fact that Animan did hold first for longer than they should have. But
yeah.
even with that, they're allowing Blue to just take all this space with holding passive, even though the fact that they have Uber ad, no calls on this, even they're just allowing them.
Pupper has to be calling this on Playground there, yeah, or on Roller Coaster. He's right behind them.
They even use. Pupper is still below them. They're not going to be using. They're not going to be using. They should not. They do. It's an exchange.
Gets Uber in time. They just delayed their ad for so long, but this Uber is not that great from the side of Blue. Red looks like they can refight this bucket. Corner. Look at the heavy. Whiteface getting so much damage, and Pupper getting the follow-up with Untamed. And I mean, only cart time coming in from Blue now. They only have that Scout demo medic.
Pupper's still alive. I'm wondering if they're even able to hold this. Considering the fact that they have no other space aside from their sniper and their demo. So they're being shot forward. Eddie, Busta McNessie getting a huge pick on the wicket, allowing Norfolk to be able to go forward extremely quick. Although Hyperion being extremely forward by himself, maybe about to die, dying to Earl.
Yeah,
but
big.
Busta McNessie gets a pick on the teeth and Untamed.
Dude,
I swear, this guy is just...
Why does this guy kill in pairs, man? He only kills in pairs.
Bro. Norfolk even getting a huge sight line from Clock.
Yeah, the full tile control with Sniper is huge here. So Norfelt on the angle, taking out Sniper, and Busta taking out a pick as well.
Taking down Hurl. Although we have lower pressure from Applezoo, Blue uses onto no one, it would seem. Although Red being blasted off.
Crump has nobody to Uber on the cart here because of the air blast from Simon, and I mean, Drexo on the cart the whole time. He's pretty healthy, but a big stat from Pupper. It's not enough though, and I mean,
Norfolk 651. Well, not much you can do about it. 7 minutes, a little bit below average time, but
the first round though, both teams capped in like 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So, I mean, it's definitely doable, but another upward battle. Can reuse the joke.
Anyway, we will be heading off this half with crit stickies. Seems like Hyperion is not following what Animan is doing and just sticking to what works. Even a slight sticky inside of the rocks. We'll have to see how Animan tries to break this hold, considering the fact that last time they completely obliterated their Ceviche's first hold with a huge sack.
Yeah, we'll probably see the sack come out again, but I'm guessing this time we won't see Punish play in the same spot. Punish probably, knowing how the sack will go, is just going to play in a different position, and Applezoo won't just be able to come in.
3, 2, 1.
Never know, though, because might
For
leave
sure.
himself open for another player. And oh my god, Pupper! What is that
Gained a
timing?
massive pick. Nice
Dude,
job. Yep.
Did this guy no clip out his spawn? Like, how did he get
Pupper
there
really
so
going
fast?
back in for another pick, going for the gun sap, sapping the gun, no, forcing Uber actually.
Yeah, they get the force. That was a really good sap and good bombs, and yeah, the Animan Studios just really great with these sack waves, and now they just need to bring their medic out again. And I mean, last time they brought their medic out, we did see a force like really early from Busta.
Norfolk losing the SBS, although Animan is still, or Ceviche is still holding forward. Uber is being used out, being completely denied by Simon.
Yeah, this sentry gun is getting so much work done at denying Uber.
Obliterating Simon! Oh my gosh! That's gotta go in the frag movement. Ceviche automatically out, actually still keeping sticks on the corner. Hyperion is not keeping an eye on it. Blind debts it, hits no one.
But Untamed dying to the sentry gun a little bit overextended there, and that's going to be hard for them to really hold all the space that they want to hold. We're going to see CDT taking their sniper, probably going to get an angle here, and yeah, here we go.
Uber, I'm wondering where Busta McNasty is in all this. He's trying to get all the way back behind them.
Hyperion
Getting
caught
ready for a
out,
pick.
guys.
He's cloaking right now. Busta McNasty heading for a pick. Gets found out, unable to. Uber is out though. Uber is out
Yeah,
though. Minus 3
Uber
health.
into them, but it's just not enough. A really late Uber coming in from the side of CDT to they dropped their demo and then Ubered, and it was just kind of bad for them in that point, and they still chased really hard.
Busta McNasty actually staying on cart, making sure that cart time is kept at a minimum. But high bomb from Applezoo towards
Into the
Norfolk.
sniper, gets the
Getting a
pick.
huge
That's what he
pick.
needs. And they also Uber at the same time, and that's just going to guarantee them this point pretty much. But we see Eddie with this counter bomb, and Eddie does get in at the very end. Wow, that was a really great movement from Punish, but unfortunately,
Untamed.
Soldier can chase you down.
Getting punished. It seems that only 2 are up. NG and Heavy completely losing the point. 4:15 for Animan. Definitely enough time for these last 2 points.
Oh yeah, Animan just rolling off that force off first, doing
Trying to find another pick onto Wicked, following right on his behind, calling him towards Sea House, making sure he's not able to peek, gets the pick. Soldier high, it's a high bomb from both Demo and Soldier, completely missing the medic.
They didn't have a call on the medic for that bomb.
Yeah. Punish.
Wait,
considering
blue
Punish.
medic died though. I'm not
Really?
exactly sure how Crump died during that
On
during
cart.
that sack.
Eddie bombed Crump
Well,
and bombed on cart, killing him.
that's
Look at
gonna
that.
really delay any kind of Uber that blue has here, and we'll see if they try and dry fight this. But
Upper dying on the back line, not able to commit to this ad. Hyperion getting a huge trap. Eddie trying to work off of this
my-
by going towards Catwalk,
and
spamming
Eddie,
towards combo. Crazy. Complete chaos.
Red now all the space in the world to hold how they wish, and again, like CDT holding with the sentry gun on the cliff, really helping to deny cart, but also like Controlling bucket well and
Net
Crump.
drops.
drops. I think that was a trap drop.
It was a trap drop on the corner of the house. Pupper trying to get a salvage play, accidentally stabbing an Uber demo. Very
Don't
sad.
shoot the
times.
shiny people.
214, still very doable. Although I do
Every
think
second is a
one
hurting
thing
second.
that needs to be caught out first is this gun towards cliffside.
Yeah, Earl doing a good job of supporting it too.
Namazu. Punish dying towards pipes, but the banner from Eddie getting untamed actually, although dying to it.
But the thing is, watch how hard the sentry gun is to die. They still can't get it.
No wait,
Sniper dies to it.
Earl fell off the map. GG's. And then it just seems
Okay,
that
finally, the sentry gun goes down, but in the meantime, like CDT has got their players back up, and there it is, the big force coming out from Drexo, and yeah, that's gonna be a blue Uber demo into the faces to secure the point, but now they don't have Uber going into last year, and Earl trying to maybe get a punish, but yeah, that's a third point and not too much else.
I mean, that's trying to get on point. Trying to see if he can delay any sort of card time. He apparently just decides to just stay cloaked. It is still possible. Time Strand card needs to be capping consistently though. Plus, I mean, I see Pupper getting caught out. I mean,
Punish rotating up into tiles, so they do have the full tiles hold. And Norfell with a huge pick onto Untamed. That's going to delay any kind of push that they have, at least to start. 40 seconds, still plenty of time. They don't need to be on the card even. But
Wide face capturing Eddie, Pupper capturing Norfolk.
we do see blue team trying to go for the under push, but they are running out of time. 25 seconds. Medic is tracks. They're split from their demo.
This
And
needs
we
to
do
be
see
happening many times. This needs to be happening right now. It needs to be sapped. Gun's dead. Uber's up. They're still above them. They use finally
this
red
is not a good Uber.
clearing everyone off of cart. 5 seconds and they are 6 down. Impossible.
Animan Studios rushed that point a little bit too hard.
Good half. I definitely agree.
They still needed to get the tiles control, which CDT still had, and with Uber in tiles control. So, I mean, trying to push cart without tiles, really hard to do, and especially if the enemy team is going to drop on top of your heads, invincible.
We are now going to Asheville. I am interested to see how this plays out. It is very so fun.
I'm so excited to see Asheville just for the scouts. I mean, both the scouts were kind of jailed, playing payload upward, and we'll see. I mean, both these scouts are really good, and both of them can make picks, so that's what I'm really excited to see.
I completely agree. Oof, these are very, very fun times. Animan losing to Ceviche 2-1. It was so close. Especially with that first half going down to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the fact that if this will have to happen again, maybe a close rounds. But we'll have to see if they can punch back Ceviche. We will have to see. Sunny, what do you think so far? Who do you think will be the most influential players now on Asheville? Considering what you've seen on Upward.
I mean, I did just mention scouts. I feel like scouts don't have as much time to shine on Upward as, Koth, obviously. And, I mean, roof control, so important on Asheville. Controlling your roof when you hold the point, controlling the enemy roof when you're fighting the point. Overall, just high ground is important, right? And Scout being able to access those high grounds and take that space, it's really going to be important coming into Asheville.
Yep. We have the combined logs, Sunny. We can see this.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised.
You're surprised. How? Explain.
I was not expecting to see both snipers on top. I was expecting, I was expecting soldier maybe on top, so maybe some demo on top, but I was not expecting both snipers to be actually killing that much. It didn't feel like they had that much impact in the server, maybe, but I mean, log wise, look at the kills. Like both of these snipers are performing.
Look at the spy. Busted Nasty going 49 to 35. 48 kills. 97% of his kills on the knife. I could never. I don't think I'll ever see this ever again.
I think I found out why. 10% accuracy.
On his exchange.
Just had to call it out a little bit.
Stats. He still got the kill. He still got the kill.
He still got the kill. True, true. Only took him 10 shots.
It's okay. It's okay. It works. It works.
One thing to note is Eddie, 47 kills. It's a big number for Soldier, right? Soldier, sure, you see a lot of like damage. You don't see frags. So 47, almost matching like the enemy sniper. That's pretty big.
Very, very. I definitely think Ceviche is coming into this looking for the kill. They smell blood. They are wanting to make sure that they can take this to a bracket reset. And even then, even if it does happen, they will have to prove themselves once again that they should be main grand final winners.
Yeah, if they do, if CDT does win tonight, it goes to a bracket reset. So it isn't just the end if they do win tonight.
Yes, yes, yes. I wonder what will happen. Definitely very, very, very interesting matches tonight. Advanced Grand Finals and main Grand Finals definitely looking to be some of the closest ones for tonight. Speaking of, what do you think of in Upward? We could talk about for on Animan. Speaking if they if they ever do watch this back, what do you think of some things that they should have done differently?
I think they were pretty solid on their offenses. They kind of brought their medic out when they were on disad to tracks, which is something that is, as a medic player, very scary because most of the time you're just going to get Ubered into or your medic's just going to just get bombed or sniped. So you kind of just need to have Uber to play from tracks or just not expect your medic to live, which they need their medic to live there. So, coming from like defense, I feel like they didn't really play aggressive on hill on second too much. And I mean, aggression on hill lets you have a solid second hold. And I think that just came from they overheld first. Like they committed too hard on first, would lose too many players, and then wasn't able to get a second hold. I feel like both teams committed that mistake a little bit, but Animan Studios did it quite a bit more. They lost a lot more players, and I think on that last round they lost so many players that when a demo bombed their medic on set, like on the hill, they weren't even able to deny it. So
Yep, yeah. I am definitely thinking the same thing. I honestly, I think that here's a question. I was wondering this while we were watching the halves go by. Is holding your medic inside of tunnel not meta anymore?
for what point? Sorry.
For first.
I mean,
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Sunny, did you hear what I said?
The like medic holding in tunnel for first.
Yep. On defense.
I mean, the only issue with that is that you peek sniper angles. So if you're peeking sniper angles and it's a sack wave, so your team isn't focused on where the enemy sniper is a lot of the time, so you just have to fear the sight lines too much.
I totally understand. All right.
Especially when snipers start learning, like, hey, the medics are playing in tunnel. I can just walk to this angle and see the tunnel. Makes it a little bit easier for them to hit the shots when they're predicting.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing really wrong with how people, like, there is so many different spots that you can play on upward first to deny the sack. You can play like in the sentry gun, you can play on that little health pack, you can play in the dispenser, you can play like behind the shed. Like there's so many different options, but it really comes down to scenario. There isn't like one right option. It really comes down to, hey, is a soldier here? Is demo here? Is blank here? You know? And it's not just their team, it's your team as well.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, a very well, we'll have to see. CDT getting ready. We'll have to wait for Animan. You know, I've been wondering is that you know, Sunny, I want your opinion on something, considering the fact that this is the admin of the div trying to cast his own div. What did you here's a question actually. I don't know if you did the survey thing, but what would you think about bringing the All-Stars back? For previous seasons there would be All-Stars on invite players.
I think it's a good idea for invite. I don't know about other divs because like so many people just divs are pretty short. There's so many players in Highlander. It's kind of hard to like, you know, a lot of people just don't really care about that kind of stuff too, so it's like really hard to formulate, but for invite I think it's a pretty solid idea.
Sure. Got it. Thank you for the input. All right. You know what? How about this? Let's go for this. So far, MVP of the match. I think I already know your answer.
Okay. I know you think my answer, but I'm gonna actually say Eddie.
Okay.
Every time we see Eddie, he is like doing something incredible, right? Not like hitting some crazy shot or anything, but like he is getting kills every time we see him. Right?
For sure. Yeah.
Or if he is bombing, he is doing like 200 damage a bomb. Right? He's not just getting picks, he's doing so much damage. He's getting huge impact, right? I think Busta, we can go to and be like, yo, Busta, he won that second round for his team, right? Like he won that second round of Upward. He popped off, right? Overall, like he did really good on Upward, but I don't think he was the leading force on anything other than that second round. I think Eddie overall just really solid. His positioning, like especially on those thirds, there's a lot of thirds, both offenses and defenses, where he was just taking so much space bucket and just shooting the enemy like combo in the back.
Yep. You know, it really is. I will have to agree with you, but I think I'm going to go on to the opposite team. I'm going to need to give it to Whiteface. His positioning is definitely one that not a lot of heavies do. He knows where to go. He knows the flank spots. His plays have been insane. They've won his team points, and even being such a I guess a jail class, he still does work.
Yeah, that was his flank from side tunnel, right?
Yep, that killed the whole enemy combo actually.
Yeah, that whole defense was just crumbled by that flank from him. And it's not just that flank play either. Like quite a few other times in my head, it's been right place, right time, and it's not just luck. It's definitely like his own, positioning.
For sure, for sure, for sure. How about let's do some round predictions, eh, Sunny?
Look, I don't have anything for sure in my head, but I can tell you right now, it won't be a 4-0.
I can definitely attest to that. I'll agree to that. Yep.
I think Animan takes this 4-2. That's my prediction.
Really? Really?
Yeah. I think
I don't
Animan
need to-
Studios has a little bit of a stronger DM, and I feel like they were pretty upward overall. Like the fights were pretty sloppy overall. Like there's a lot of fights that were just like sustained long fights, and I feel like overall Animan Studios were winning those fights a lot more, and I feel like that's going to benefit them on Koth here.
For sure, yeah. All right, well, I'll have to agree with you, but I think it'll go 4-3. I definitely think Ceviche is gonna put up a harder fight than you say they are. I'm really
4-3
wondering
will be
how
interesting.
4-3 will be interesting. Imagine we both get it wrong. That'd be funny.
Yeah, it'll be 4-0 now. Just because I said it won't be.
That'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be good.
But for a team, well, now you have to find out.
Yeah. I'm wondering, how many players have you really? Well, I mean, I guess which player out of these teams do you think is like your hardest? Like the one that you played against, who you think is like, oh, I really don't know how I'm gonna beat them.
I mean, I want to say Teets just because he's so unpredictable. Teets is the kind of player that will like play perfect demo and like just completely roll your team playing perfectly, but also he'll just like randomly bomb. Anyway,
we are
gonna be going
live.
live.
Yes. I'm going on red side, looking at Ceviche.
Both
Hyperion
demos
meeting.
mid same time.
Hyperion getting there slightly a bit faster. Hyperion dying actually towards Untame. Soldier's buying in from lower, making sure there's no space towards lower. Wide face dying, T-Swingy dying, Punish dying to a pipe across the map.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge pick. Crump half HP on fire. Busta can't really capitalize on it. He's not in his position to maybe use the revolver that he never does.
So real, so real.
And yeah, that's gonna be a solid mid win from Animan Studios, getting the demo pick and then the med pick, and just that's all I needed. And now they're gonna have a pretty solid mid hold. We do have Busta McNasty behind from the side of CDT, so I mean they are pretty much set for a sack wave or whatever they want to do here. And it looks like it's a sack wave. Does come in. There is the heavy in position. Demo does get a little bit, and Soldier in as well, and Crump not forcing to the Soldier, 50 HP on his own bats, gets the pack, and that's a really good kite from him. Eddie's still alive behind, though. Maybe trying to go for a rebomb. Doesn't do anything behind, and is going to die. Busta McNasty in position, gets the heavy, but isn't able to get the medic, and is going to die as well. And that is the sack wave, so good job from Crump not using, but we are going to see Red trying to repush with their Uber immediately. And Rabbit already coming into the medic, Crump getting forced. And I mean, sure.
I don't think I'd be able to take this exchange. Yes, they are. Hyperion even bombing towards their own bats. Towards blue bats.
He gets the medic, but Crump walked into the traps meant that were late for the sniper.
Trap. Holy wow. Those are the plays that will make sure that Ceviche stays in this round.
And those are the plays that haunt medic players because it's like, how do you know?
For real. Even Busta McNasty getting a pick onto Wicked on the backline. Let's see here. Ruffle making sure that he's getting in position to take the SBS and making sure that there's no place that the combo can walk where he is not watching. Crump getting a bit of spam, Busta McNasty playing behind Blue's bats, walking
Wide
forward.
face out shutter. Wide face does
Busta McNasty decloaking. getting caught out by Ko.
CDT is in a really bad position here, all grouping up from ramp. They are going to have to...
Forward positioning from Animan. They use, though.
They use their Uber.
It uses. In exchange. Animan did not use, they didn't even have.
They didn't even need to use to get all that space, and they got out for free, so they're just going to get all the space back. They're just going to walk back. And yeah, that's going to be the space take from Animan Studios. CDT can't back up to their ramp like that, and if they do, they just need to leave. They can't just drop all their players and use. We do see a sack whip coming in from CDT, getting Crump down already, getting the force, and Busta didn't even decloak in the sack. Does get caught out though.
Pupper trying to get the teleporter pick, that's it in the end.
Yeah, Norfall dying in the sack wave, so it wasn't too bad though. I mean, he is going to be back up for the post here. Probably just going to take an even Ubers.
Busta Pinguefy getting caught out right before Ubers are even popped. Pupper playing on the backline of Red's bats. Actually in spawn.
Norfall taking the angle from ramp. That's a huge pick to get a demo pick there, and or that's a sniper pick, not demo pick.
Dropped. Untamed getting dropped. Pupper trying to force the counter espionage and spawn.
Hyperion having the traps, and I mean, this point has gone back and forth, what, 4 times already?
It has, but Animan does have time add. Only at 40 seconds.
Yeah, and Applezoo in position on ramp already to maybe do something, maybe go for a bomb, just kind of spotting right now. And there's the Uber coming in from blue, and that's a big kill onto demo, and Animan's going to take the point.
Refight from bats and from ramp, it seems. Norfall peeking, catches Teats, but Spy's dead. Busta cannot work off of that, although Wicked automatically catches out Norfall.
Yeah, Sniper is going to be a big pick there. Just going to delay that, and his team can freely walk all over the point now that no Sniper sightlines.
Seems that Ceviche is going to push through Shutter, using through.
This is big ad, and
have.
Crump's out all the way. It looks like Wideface might be a little bit caught in, but...
Busta Pinguefy is lower. He's going to be needed this pick in the next 10 seconds, or else they're going to be losing this ad. Getting in position, trying to get the soldier, getting Applezoo, trying to do a workaround.
I mean, Animan has full ad coming into CDT here, so CDT
full ad and overtime.
Kite.
They cannot kite too far though. If they do, then they will completely lose this point.
All right,
Animan's trying to push through Shutter. Uber's being popped right now. Ceviche is playing towards Shutter, allowing Animan to just take all the space on point.
Drexo in a good spot for refight though. Look at Drexo.
Getting a 2K.
And yeah, this is gonna be a failed fight from Blue. They didn't get any cap time. Red kited it really well. Drexo sat toxic the whole time and just was unpunished.
Busta Pinguefy getting key, sniper, and heavy pick on the backline, making sure that they were not able to recontest. Pupper coming in from lower. Actually, he's able to get behind on Red's bats. Untamed trying to peek from bats.
Hyperion getting very close to Wideface. Wideface might get a free pick on Hyperion there, gets it. And
popping 3 players. Norfall keeping an eye on bats, trying to get this pick. Getting flashed. Huge bombs from Applezoo.
That level 3 gun is still up. It's killing people. I mean, it's finally going to go down, but I mean, at what cost? It costs so much pressure.
Just reflect this hit. CDT winning the round. It really is just pressure. I honestly think that Animan is letting the pressure of being top main players, letting it get the best of them. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, CDT is really playing well too. It's one-sided. Hyperion walking really aggressive. Both demos dead. Eddie destroying him. And it looks like both teams have players down, but still committing to the fight. Both medics out in the open quite a bit. I mean, nothing really to say. Rabbit really weak. I mean, both teams have the exact same space. Rabbit making so much space with such little HP. And the mini is going to deny the scout. He gets the kill. Dude, Earl and Rabbit just won that point with no demo. That was crazy.
Just complete aggression, coordinated aggression, truly making magic.
Yeah, it was perfect where nobody like baited, where they just ran away, but they also like were not too far in. They weren't feeding. We're gonna see Uber change.
Animan.
Teats gets caught out. Hyperion has a better Uber. He's chasing it, but I mean they have all the space in the world.
Nasty playing by the shutter, preparing for a pick, getting caught out by Whiteface. Hopper is in Red's lobby, trying to make sure that he's ready for any sort of pressure from his team. He should be committing soon, considering the fact that Red can easily take all the space. Although Blue is simply just playing so passive, despite the fact that they had player ad and is even on Ubers.
Yeah, Hyperion just walked into their shutter with their soldier and just killed 2 of them for free.
They're playing so passive. Busta Vignacy getting the counter espionage on Pupper, not paying attention to his back. Hyperion walks through shutter with Earl, and they just let it happen. Yeah, they're not dealing with this. Pupper getting counter espionaged again. This is definitely doing something for his mental. Exchanges are coming out.
I really like the heavy Uber on Drexo here. Drexo's in a pretty good spot for a post, so we'll see if
Nasty actually preparing himself to get towards Shutter, cleaning up with Earl, trying to rotate towards ramp to clear out
Earl and Rabbit again, just cleaning up, man. Like I'm seeing Earl and Rabbit consistently shooting the same like players at the same time, and since they're both hit scan, they're both like they're dying so fast.
Truly the flank mentality.
Popper getting caught out.
Sniper peeking through ramp. Wicked.
Crump maybe gonna drop down. Yup. That's a sign of a committed fight, and Teats is weak, and Demo's weak, and this is not a great fight for Blue already. They're all pretty weak.
Huge picks with Norful. It really is pick class diff at this very moment.
Norfell being super aggressive on point, knowing he has the support of his teammates. I mean, Norfell, can I just say, is looking super strong, but he's looking so confident. He like knows that he has his team on his back, right? And that's what a solid sniper like will have, right? A confident sniper is fucking scary. Untamed, dying early in the fight, and Red, Uber, this is really not good. Hyperion going for a melee kill, and he's gonna die for it. Drexo on the point, getting tons of damage. Busta gets a huge pick to save Drexo. Drexo runs out of ammo, but I mean, he already won the fight for his team.
Hopper winning a 1v1 against a Pyro by butter knifing him in the end. Well, that was the first half. So far, it seems like both our predictions are still possible. Although Caster's Curse will always be there.
I was not expecting it to go like this. I mean, just CDT in general looks so much like better than they were last night on Asheville. Like their holds are really solid, and the way they push like points and stuff is really good.
And I definitely understand what you're saying by Eddie being the MVP of this match so far, getting 432 DPM, even higher than his own demo.
Just had to unleash the scout.
Real 4 red players being top DPM. 4 blue players being top damage taken per minute. It really is interesting how this match is playing out.
Yeah, and that I feel like one of the big issues for Animan is the sniper difference right now. Like Norfell 17-7 to 8-10. That's a big difference, especially when you're playing Koth, a map that really revolves around your sniper getting picks. Like, you can't have your sniper dying that many times.
For sure. It really, man, it's just, we'll have to see. I mean, with the way this is looking, it might be the end of the night very soon, but we have to hold out hope. Maybe
Yeah.
Animan really does deserve this. Maybe taking it to a third map being Lakeside. Although, I guess we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, they do have. I mean, we do have to go through two. They have to win 2 rounds of Koth before we can think about them going to Lakeside.
4 rounds, actually. Animan on the
Yeah.
back foot.
Yeah, like the fact that we have to sit here and have this conversation after another half of Asheville is incredible, right?
Yeah.
Who would like? I didn't think they would be down this bad. Like Payload was close, but I mean, now that they're down Asheville 2-0, it's a lot rougher for them.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. It seems as though everyone is starting to get ready. We'll have to just wait a few more seconds. I'm wondering if there's something that's holding Animan back. I'm wondering if there's something that's making them play so passively. I think they're playing scared because they don't want to lose, and because of that, they're losing.
Yeah, it's unlike Animan to be playing so passive, right? Like Animan, from my experience, is one of the more aggressive teams, right? Like they will run at you with Teats on Pyro. They will have Untamed holding W at you. They will have a roll like holding W at you. Like you'll jump over the end like or not Earl, sorry. Pardon me. But they're a very aggressive team, and for them to just kind of be playing on this back foot, especially when they don't have the point and they're all just sitting on their own bats, it makes it really hard for them to do anything. Like one of the things I pointed out was the sniper, right? And pointed out how Wicker wasn't doing as great as Norfell, but I mean, you have to look at your team for that too, right? Like you can't just look at your sniper.
Yep.
I mean, like it's really hard when he has no space.
For sure. I honestly think it really comes down to the flanks getting pressure and being able to take pressure away from the combo. I think if Pupper and Applezoo and Squid are able to actually coordinate towards the flank, catch out Eddie and Earl, they will be
Yeah.
able to at least create some sort of distance between them and this grand finals.
Exactly. And I feel like the flank, you didn't really need to focus them too hard on upward, but now that we've gone into Asheville, it's so much more obvious now how much more chaos is being caused by this flank.
Yep.
And the Animan is just, they're not really responding to it. Animan needs to create chaos of their own, or they need to respond to the chaos. That is Earl and Eddie.
Yep. It really is just. It really is just. I feel as though it's mental. Like I've seen these players play through Puppers' own demos, and I know that they can play aggressive, and I know that they're able to commit onto things. They're able to even go against top advanced teams. And just seeing them struggle so hard is very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess we'll have to see. Sunny, what do you think that I suppose if you could change one thing about how these guys are playing, aside from them being so passive, what do you think is something that they should also focus on? Animan?
I mean, I'm a big believer in ramp. Like, if you don't have the point, you should be trying to work your sniper ramp. Even if it's during a sack wave, whatever, just send your pyro and NG there and just get your sniper to the sight line, you know? I feel like there isn't any kind of ramp pressure coming out from Animan when they don't have the point. I feel like maybe they'll send a soldier to bomb over to bats or something, but not too much going on. And with that, we are going to go live on the second half of Asheville here. CDT being up 2 rounds and a map, but being down the full bracket reset, so both demos coming out to the mid.
How this works out.
Both demos about half HP already, trying to live what they can. Blue coming out with 2 big picks. I mean, the Huntsman coming out. I mean,
huge, massive aggression coming from Pupper and the rest of Animan. This is what was needed.
Yeah, and I mean, exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about the pressure and like how Sniper needs that pressure. I mean, if you just pull out the crossbow, you can just make your own pressure.
So very true.
So yeah, we do see. I mean, now when Wicked's the most furthest person on the point, I mean, it's okay because he's just backing up after with the Huntsman. But I mean, he is gonna get out sniped there, and that is the downside of the Huntsman. So norfell winning the SVS, and now we're gonna see Nuber exchange.
Eddie getting on the backline. Eddie is.
Oh my god, Applezoo.
Eddie committing, getting Crump and Untamed.
Both soldiers
Huge
going nuclear in post there. Oh my god. They're like the only players alive are these 2 soldiers fighting.
Seems as though Animan wins this push. Already minute deficit for CDT. You will have to see how they play this.
But Animan not really having their spawners yet, so CDT is going to get in here, get a free pick, and I mean, what is a mini going to do? Bust is going to take that out pretty quickly, and yeah, I mean, CDT's going to take the space off their faster spawners, but only gets the norfell pick, but punish guys to the sniper.
Sniper flames.
But wait a second.
Trump is getting caught, but he lives.
He lives.
Luck. But Busta Big Nasty getting ready to a point. Trying to get a pick. He's gonna get. He gets panned.
Welp. Should have kept up the knife.
Living for another day. Animan actually on a 60% ad actually. Eddie holding close ramp, trying to see if he can find any sort of pick. Gets caught out by gets seen by Wicked, having to move. Animan dropping down super fast, going towards Shutter, not being stuffed at all actually.
Busting Nasty caught out. There is no spy in the post here, and yeah, that's just a really good point hold.
The snipe. Huge snipe on the punish.
norfell coming in from the ramp does get a pick. I mean, it is just an NG pick, but I mean, that's what I was talking about, where like he just caught a free kill there, and now they just delayed it.
It really is going to be just a battle of the snipers.
Punish walking out of Shutter does get bombed, and Applezoo getting the pick. And, I mean,
huge picks from Pupper, double kill, triple kill.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for the push from Red, trying to bring out their medic, and now they're gonna be going up against pretty much full disad with a minute left. This is a pretty solid round for Animan here.
This is exactly what was needed. Pupper dying on the backline though, an unfortunate death, especially considering the fact that we only have 45 seconds left. All these comms that are happening right now, extremely important. Eddie dying.
They're going to go for a sack wave. They have time from right now, and Crump knows this. He's playing in Shutter. Crump still playing near Toxic.
Hyperion dying,
but he's trading for Wideface, so I mean, it's not all dead. Blue very clumped up on their ramp here. They're just giving up a lot of space, and they're going to have to use Uber to get the space back, and I mean, they got some picks, but it's really not enough, and Busta gets a big pick on
team. Gets a huge pick, and they just collapse. And Crump fearing too much, believing that he could save everyone, dropped everyone. It truly is unfortunate.
And Norfell winning that SVS, that is going to delay any kind of push coming. But, I mean, 2 minutes is a long time to hold. Probably going to see a sack wave, if I had to guess. I mean,
Upper
full
is
Uber
dying.
coming in from Punish.
Stack committing anyway. Getting up, sticking on some med. No damage yet, 100 HP.
And
Forcing. Nice.
nice force
Kills
coming in from
going
Blue,
out.
but
Crump, lucky enough. Shots from Norfolk did not hit.
CDT is playing so close to the shutter here. They just...
Hopper calling out that there is a level 3 gun towards Shutter, probably will be making his way towards that. They're holding extremely forward. Norfolk knowing that Animan cannot be allowed to be getting in without any sort of pressure.
Oh, but here comes Drexo trying to deny the flank, only being able to kill a soldier. So now, I mean, that's a dead heavy, and you kind of need your heavy on Asheville. And we do see
Hopper
Crump
trying to get in for a
Ubering.
pick. Hopper just trying to gun down Simon.
I mean, there's
Just
good cap time,
all this pressure though. Times 6
they're
without
just trying to
anyone
get the Uber. They're
contesting
just trying to get the Uber. They just get in time. They do get on point, but
the cap. They completely left. Even if it was for Uber, they cannot just leave the point like that.
yeah, really unfortunate. I think Simon stepped off the point, and just need more players on point, even if you have Uber.
Hyperion
demos get the
sneak
arrow.
past as well. Although Hyperion extremely forward, dying with as well as Wideface, Simon dying, Appleseed dying, trades upon trades.
But it looks like Blue is in the favor of these trades. Red not having a
Still,
demo is
although
really hard. I
Sniper-
mean, Untamed is way too weak to really fight this. Drexo finally going down. Probably going to be the fight decider.
Caught out. Pablo is being caught out towards Shutter. All dying. And that is a 90% ad.
So yeah, full ad coming in from, again, just Animan Studios. Another solid mid.
For real, yeah. It just seems as though that they completely flipped the switch.
Yeah,
Just-
like you were saying, like the aggression is what they needed, and they finally started with it, and now they won the mids off aggression.
Speaking of aggression,
Oh!
Norfolk getting super forward, and that is a pause.
And yeah, okay, so that drop into the pause was not how it worked on the server, but I mean,
Convenient timing.
convenient timing to talk about it. I mean, ramp is so huge on Asheville. I was mentioning ramp before. I mean, I was mentioning how I wanted to see Wicked play ramp more, but I mean, sure. Norfell just showing it how it's done.
That is crazy. It really is just wow. It was the flank pressure. Appleseed not paying attention towards either not paying attention or in the middle of bombing towards ramp, unable to catch Norfolk right as he got Crump.
And yeah, so I mean, Crump being dead is really bad because they just captured the point, right? Like their medic is going to be on a delayed respawn now, and so I mean, red team has all their players alive. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for a slow refight with like just winning off heals. But we'll see.
Yep. We will have to see. Pupper is dead as well. They will not be able to have any sort of spy on the back line. I believe, yeah, they just capped. So we will have to see what happens next. You know, I really am wondering how they will play this. Will they walk in without any sort of fear, considering the fact that they have no medic? Or as you say, play slowly and wait for Ceviche to walk in? But Sunny, what do you think right now, what do you think is going through Animan's team's head?
I mean, they have momentum again, right? Like, after that 2-0, it wasn't looking good. I mean, we were saying how bad it was looking for them. But, I mean, they found their stride, right? Like, they started getting aggressive. They're getting the picks. I mean, I don't know what the Huntsman swap strategy... I don't know if that was, like, a mental, like, I'm tilted, I'm just going Huntsman, or if it's like, hey, this is a serious strategy, but, I mean, it's working, right? Like, we can't deny how hard this Huntsman is working.
Yeah, for real. Yep. Now I'm also wondering what's going through Ceviche's head. I mean, right now they are actually, even though they're down a round, they are up 2. They only need to win 2, and actually they are on crits, so they are automatically building faster. I'm wondering if that was the plan from the beginning before norfolk even decided to walk out. But I guess now it will just have to be a huge crits bomb. I'm wondering why they pause. Maybe, what are your predictions,
I'm
Sunny?
gonna guess it's a tech pause for Earl, specifically.
All right, all right.
Wait,
Why would...
was it Earl that was having no, it was Eddie that was having internet issues, right?
And we unpause, actually. High bomb
Okay.
coming in from Applezoo. Norfolk dying to SMG from Wicked. A lot of spam going both ways. Eddie dying. Heavy walking towards far right side. I will have to retry. My HUD is not working.
I mean, we have Hyperion pushing point into Untamed, and I mean, Hyperion just walking forward with no beam, killing the demo. That's, I mean, Drexel walking forward as well. I mean, we just talked about Red having full Uber ad, and they just lost it. And now Animan has the studio. Animan has the point. They have 50% Uber. Like, they're looking good right now.
For sure. Even Wicked is staying forward, trying to take this SBS extremely close. Although maybe having to get caught out. Punish still on crits, walking forward, even on the dissad.
They just ignore the sniper and let the sniper kill 2.
And Punish dies through a mini search from Ko. And with that, the push is over.
Wicked lived while being in the enemy secret there. That should have been completely illegal.
It really was a tech pause on the side of Ceviche. Even though entire blue combo holding on Red's bats. Although Norfolk taking a pick from Wideface, we'll have to see. Combo's trying to pressure towards lobby, although Norfolk dying to the arrows from Wicked.
Yeah, Norfell is really getting destroyed in the SBS now.
Pressure from Shutter, wondering what's going to happen next. The pressure from bats, pressure from all around. Applezoo dying even. Wondering why.
Bumper going for a decloak, not able to get anything. That was scary though. I mean, we do see Punish dropping down onto the point. Crump saving his demo with the Uber finally. I mean, Red's all the way out.
They just leave. They just leave. They don't even try and contest it.
Yeah, Blue leaves as well. Like, both teams just left the point at the same time. Both teams just left through their own shutter at the exact same time. That was really funny.
I am wondering what happened next. Plus Magnassi trying to make his way towards the enemy's ramp.
Oh, Wicked's kind of caught under, but, I mean, Hyperion dies trying to chase him, and, I mean, Simon takes the Uber ad now into them, but, I mean, Wicked is still under. Free kill for maybe the scout here. Wicked trying to fight him with the SMG. Wicked actually.
High bomb from Eddie. Getting Ko. And
yeah, Rabbit getting untamed as well.
Rabbit just doing work with this wrangled mini sentry.
Yep. Wrangled minis. I mean, they do so much if you leave them be, and that's what happened.
We will have to see what happens next. Untamed trying to get ready Crump having 90% hard building, about to have Uber right now. Actually, they should be pushing through Shutter. They are clearing sticks, walking forward. Uber is used. Only a level 1 on Shutter. And just as before, Ceviche just leaves entirely, but committing sooner rather than later. Pupper trying to get in on this fight. 5 players dropped on both sides, but it is Untamed actually getting some decent kills. Even Wicked getting some positioning. Wicked actually getting on point with Untamed as well. Considering the fact that Crump is up, they are able to take this point without much pressure. The immediate refight.
Yeah, this is
Red.
Red refight, but it's not going to be enough. And
complete collapse from Applezoo from Bats. Completely tears Ceviche in half.
yeah, man, taking that half pretty convincingly. I would say a lot more convincingly than the first half was from CDT. So they really hit their stride. Like, they found the aggressiveness. They swapped the crossbow. I mean, their soldier bombs are getting a lot. They're shutting down Applezoo really well, which I think was like one of the keys to success for, or not Applezoo, but sorry, Eddie. They're shutting down pretty well, which I think is one of the keys to success for CDT is finding Eddie in the flank, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, they just adapted well between the first and second half, right? Like we commented on stuff like that we saw that they needed to adapt to, and that's exactly what they did. So, I mean, it's not over. I mean, CDT obviously can adapt the same way, and we'll see if they can, make it close again. But that was pretty convincing, man to man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really wondering. I'm really wondering what was said in these comms to make such a drastic difference. Maybe there really was some sort of pep talk. Truly was a sort of speech. I wonder what sort of speech. I really need that. I need that speech for my own teams. Oy. But Sunny, what do you now that we have both teams actually going 2-2, what do you think should be happening next?
I mean, again, like CDT has the time to adapt, right? Like they saw the counter aggression that came out. They knew what they just lost to. So I mean, if they can adapt the same way that Animan Studios just adapted to them, I feel like it's fine. But I mean, at the same time, we could also see Animan Studios just continue to roll this all the way for like 2 more rounds just in their favor, right? Like they are playing well. What is stopping them from continuing playing this well?
For sure, yep. I'm really wondering what sort of counterplay is being hatched right now from both sides, really. From Animan trying to figure out what sort of things that Ceviche can do, and Ceviche trying to find out what sort of things they can do to counter the counter that they had. It is very, very interesting seeing both teams go head to head and having them be this competitive. I mean, I said this before. I'll have to say it again. At least I'll have to say it after this dang half. We're starting now. We'll have to see where this goes. Both teams, 2-2, last half.
Wicked is still on the Huntsman.
It
Want to
works.
clarify.
It works.
Both demos out on the mid. Pretty even damage.
Okay.
I mean, Hyperion gonna get punished. Dies first. Whiteface dying as well.
Crump
Crump
dying.
getting sniped. Punish the only medic alive. Applezoo in the shutter. Shooting. Punish in the back. Punish 1 HP on point. Gonna get gunned down. High sniper SMG of all things. But I mean, it's not enough to... Still, the win fight from Red. CDT, Eddie, going big that mid. Just jumping around, getting kills. I mean...
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, now Eddie Staying alive in the back line. It's gonna get back on the roof here, and Hyperion going down from the Huntsman. The Huntsman being a huge pick, and Applezoo getting into Punish as well. Punish, pretty good HP, doesn't need to force Earl, get the pick, but...
Getting these hicks, making sure that his team is still in this fight.
Yeah, Norfell making huge picks.
Dying later on. Eddie lagging it once again, but regardless, he brings out a force and dies with Simon, brings out a force on Animan. And even then, Punish does not have, wondering if Applezoo is going to do a high bomb on this, considering the fact that there is no pyro.
Punish is gonna have now. Punish gets in time,
forces.
and I mean, that's a fine force. They're gonna hold the space, they're gonna get players back, but oh, Pupper does get a big pick on a Drexo to maybe stop the hold. I mean, red players had the players for this with Drexo, but oh, what a big pick from Busta McNasty getting a pick on a Teats as well. So I mean, both spies getting a pick, and now we're gonna see a mid fight.
Answer from Wicked gain on Punish.
Yeah, Punish was kind of in a bad spot, so you can see why he died there.
Getting glow stick. And Eddie trying to get a sack off, but also dying. But Simon coming back in, getting Wicked.
Yeah, that's going to be a delayed sniper too. And even if your sniper's on Huntsman, it's a sniper, man. He's top scoring your team, right? Like, Norfell on the other side also top scoring, just want to mention.
Yep, seems they're both going pretty even. Both just as influential as the other.
Untamed dying early. And
Red
now
getting extreme pressure towards bats. Blue getting forced onto no one.
Yeah, the heavy
getting into Shutter, getting caught out. They got trapped in by the sticks of Hyperion.
Yeah, it almost looked like Hyperion knew they wanted to come through the Shutter there, like almost like predicted the aggression, and a bomb coming in onto Punish from Eddie, and Punish, I mean, half HP. Punish
Eddie unable to hit the Eddie unable to hit the rockets.
Yeah, he kind of lost the medic there. Didn't know exactly where it was, and Punish is gonna live, have decent Uber ad, and we're gonna see a minute 20 left for CDT. Trying to just hold out what they can. We'll see if they bring out the level guns now. They're still on minis. Popper is called out, so there's gonna be no spy. Maybe no, he actually lives.
Demo's in. It's a sack, and it's a immediate force.
Yeah, that was a really good sack. I mean, there was almost no time for Red to realize there was a sack coming. They didn't, like, spam over roof. They didn't really do anything. They just jumped in out of nowhere.
Yep. And even then, now, Ceviche is definitely holding extremely forward, getting wide face. I believe they're trying to just get any sort of advantage that they can. A scout v scout fighting, and Squid wins it, but getting shredded out by Eddie. Sniper being held super forward on ramp, getting a few kills, but stabbed out by Busta McNasty.
Yeah, he was completely alone there on ramp. Didn't really have any flank members with him and get stabbed for it, but Norfell getting some big picks.
Popper getting a 2K. Popper dying to Busta McNasty, but then getting traded out as well. It is really just so even. Punish dying as well in the backline.
Yeah, Punish dying is really bad. We'll see Red not be able to get that overtime, but I mean, they're still trying to get in, see if they can do anything, but yeah, it's kind of late deaths for them.
That was a high-bombing Punish.
Minute 50 is a long time for Animan to hold here. They have to probably deny a sack or two. We'll see what happens. I mean,
Wicked holding extremely forward.
Eddie kind of lost his crit heals. Maybe they won't do a sack. Maybe they're looking to try and fight this.
I doubt that they'll stop.
No, they're getting busted as a sack wave. I mean, Crump's kind of caught on point. Eddie's right there, and 1 HP Crump!
Spy is trying to get in. Spy got caught around the corner. Oh, wow. 8 players sack, honestly. And
that dispenser armor saves another medic.
Unfortunately, there was a pick on the blue side, and Wicked died to a mini sentry left unattended on bats. Applezoo, Norfolk extremely forward on bats, trying to get Applezoo. Instead of getting Teats McGee, forces
Yeah,
Force
the T's
Ubers.
pick is actually pretty good though. No air blast, and the Uber is gonna let them have some space, especially in the post. And Hyperion walking out of Shutter, getting
Just
some
allowed to
support,
come
but
in.
I mean, it's
Oh,
not
just
looking good
getting
for
a double kill. Norfolk losing, yes. Ko dying as well.
Winning too.
I'm honestly surprised. This is very little aggression from what I thought was a winning fight.
Bus is gonna go for a backstab on the scout. This is a play. Never mind.
He gets caught out somewhat. He actually is gonna go back in on the medic. At least he's gonna be trying to, I believe. He's going on a heavy towards Shutter actually.
And 10 seconds left. Red has to commit now. So Red, I mean, we do see Drexo getting some good damage out, but no cap time, and that's gonna be 3-2 for Animan Studios, winning 3 in a row.
Oh my wow.
Stab, stab, stab.
Yeah. We'll have to see how this all plays out, considering this could be the last point, the last round of this map actually. Huge.
Hyperion dying early, Applezoot jumping in behind, Wide Face taking good space on the point, Untamed dying to Sniper, not a big deal. And I mean, blue team has a lot of space, but Norfell keeping his team in the mid. And I mean, Norfell still in the Shutter with his medic. I mean, yeah, he got the picks, and
he is just he is
players
completely
respawn.
turning up. He is completely turning up. He saw Wicked and said, oh, what you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, he was not going to let himself get outshined by a Huntsman. And Eddie tries to beat the Shutter.
The sack, huge sack.
Huge sack. That was really well coordinated, and it is going to get the force, but, I mean, no refight. I mean, Spy did live in that, though. Pupper is alive?
He is. It seems he's hiding, actually, on Cloak and Dagger towards Shutter.
Yeah, this is a really good play.
He is right here. He's actually
he knows Norfell is going to play alone.
He didn't turn around, but it doesn't even matter. He was being followed, but regardless, he still got the pick onto Norfell. Allows his team to just completely walk forward. Actually makes it so that Ceviche is literally only able to hold by Shutter.
Yeah, and it's just not enough space for him to hold the point, and the aggression from Animan again just takes him off the point.
They're at 80%. Actually, they have full ad. They have ad, actually. I'm going to be wondering if they're going to be taking this. Actually, it doesn't seem like they are, even though it is 15%. Soldier ad, or Soldier bombing. Actually, it's a sack for some reason.
Yeah, another sack coming through. Crump half HP sitting in the dispenser again, and
Untamed dying. I thought I heard a drop sound. I would have screamed. Wicked dying. Appleseed dying. Actually, these picks are on the side of Ceviche. Norfolk being allowed to just walk forward.
And they're going to take the exchange.
Use.
And I mean, Ceviche doesn't have much space in the post here. I mean, sure, Pyro's air blasting them, but I mean, that Heavy's going to die if he tries to walk forward.
Upper getting rabid. That means no minis for this fight. And actually, the huge collapse from Applezoot completely denies any sort of leaving from the enemy combo, or at least from the medic.
Oh, man, Crump arrow tanked his Heavy like 3 times.
The immediate fight from from Earl and Rabbit picks up 2 Wide Face and Untamed, or Wicked and Untamed.
Now another rubber band fight. Red this time, just trying to take the point. Like, it's just back and forth, back and forth. Team loses 2 players. They don't have the spawners, and they just can't hold the point.
They're about to be walking down this full Uber. Actually, they're going to be using this towards Shutter. It's around 30% ad, 40% actually. They're used forward. But Red just leaves.
Yeah, they don't really get too much. They don't even look for ramp players here. I mean, they still have an NG on the red
guys, to a body shot from Norfolk down in lower left.
And now we see Eddie bombing in, getting some damage. And I mean, Blue just can't really get onto this point between no heals and no health. It's just kind of over for them.
Yes, for sure. Oof. Well, while we are waiting for this next fight to come up, actually Sax coming in. And
Apple
Punish
Zoo.
dies to that! Norfolk even dies to Pupper!
Wow.
There is literally no time to sit down.
There is no time. Crump goes
Even
down
Crump dies
to Rabbit. And Rabbit's still
The
alive on their
Medpix.
bats.
The
Kills
picks
the
from
telly.
each team is just insane. Well, hopefully now that both teams are trying to respawn, I will be able to say what I want to say.
Oh my
I'll have to
god,
go
dude!
now.
Rabbit left wide face on 2 HP. He almost killed the heavy too.
That's crazy. I'll have to be leaving now. I'll have to leave all of you soon. Thank you all for joining me. Rogue will be able to take it away. Thank you for joining me on this cast. I will see you all with a good one. Have a good night.
There we go. What's up? I'm in. I'm here. We have
Welcome.
even clocks on the clock. Good to see you, Sunny. What's going on?
Not too much. I mean, you just jumped in perfect time. I mean, kind of a scrappy fight going on this round from both teams. It's just constant fights, but I mean, it's kind of slowing down a little bit, but sniper pick.
Right now, Norfolk opening the shutter here. Squid actually getting nice high ground, but with Eddie kind of shoving a Squid off the high ground, and oh my god, Squid living on 4 HP. The Uber does come out from Crump, and they're keeping players alive on the point, but after losing a couple right now, Punish and friends are going to charge across the point here and clean up to have a better post fight. But okay, they'll bring down the point just before overtime, unless... Okay, in overtime to delay for their medic.
Yeah, I mean, there is only about a minute left, but a minute is a lot of time for them for Thug to work with. And I mean, they're getting their demo out of Shutter and their meds out of Shutter. Everybody's out of Shutter. Looks like they're going to go for the mid fight. A big snipe onto the heavy. And I mean, they have a lot of space here. Bus McNasty trying to maybe make a decloak with Earl. Also getting a big flank onto Untamed. And Rabbit also on to point. This is a decent fight. Bus McNasty going for the stab, but it's not enough. And Animan Studio is going to take the point and the Asheville map.
All right, there we have it. Asheville map going in their favor. So, Sunny, for our folks back home and also for me right here, catch us up to speed. What's the score? What's the deal in this match?
All right, so first map was Upward. It did go 2-1 for the favor of Ceviche. Sorry, how do I pronounce this? I wrote it down. Ceviche.
Love Ceviche.
They did win 2-1 on Upward. The first round that Ceviche did win was a 5-second difference. It was a real nail biter. And then we went to Koth on Asheville there, and Ceviche actually won the first 2 rounds. And it was pretty solid, I'd say. They had a pretty solid first 2 rounds, but Animan Studios, they did some research, or there's some mental meditation or something going on in their comms, because after that first half on Asheville, the aggression came out, and they took it pretty steadily. 4 rounds in a row on Asheville, and now we're going into Lakeside map 3.
That is a lot of momentum. I don't suppose you know who chose which map. Like, was the Koth favored team the one who chose the Koth map and stuff like that? Like, did they both win their own map picks, basically, is the question, because if so, the way we usually see it in Highlander is like, hey, whoever is better on Koth versus whoever's better on payload tends to pick to their own strengths versus the opponent. Like, whoever's more aggressive will play on the Koth maps, and whoever's more tactical, strategic will pick payload maps. So yeah, I'm pretty curious how this shakes down.
To my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Task mentioned that they actually won each other's map pick.
Interesting. Very interesting. So that makes it extra spicy for us here on Lakeside, because basically it's anyone's game, right? If, you know, one team won on the other's map pick, which is payload, the other one on the other's map pick, which is Koth. That means both teams kind of have strengths that not only, I guess, fit both map types, but match up well against the other team, or maybe too well, because they're trading maps back and forth. So yeah, I'm excited to see what types of holds we'll see whether teams are going to hold in bathhouse versus aggressive on ruins, like we'll see an invite, versus kind of spread out on the point, which gives you a lot of great high ground. But either way, I hope to see some forward plays. So, yeah, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see some like aggressive heads up play, or is it going to be more slower, kind of playing around your sniper, playing around traps and rotations?
From experience, I think both these teams have played more towards pool and played more towards that bathhouse, passive with their sniper holding sightlines. But I wouldn't be surprised if Animan Studios in particular plays more towards ruins and does the aggressive holds, because, I mean, seeing from Asheville, they definitely did do some aggressive plays and definitely were the more aggressive team, and it did work out for them. So we'll see if they keep pushing it.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm seeing some familiar faces here with Teats McGee on Pyro and Norval on Sniper. Those are some players that have done a couple rounds in Invite, and I guess maybe even Teats McGee all the way back to Platinum, probably, and UGC back in the day. Back before electricity was invented, we used to have to play Highlander by cranking our rock screens to show us all the pixels so we could play Highlander 9 versus 9. But either way, it's exciting that both teams have like that veteran savvy where each of those players gets to say, hey, don't fall into these simple traps. Don't get too far in your heads. Don't hyperfixate on this small issue. So yeah, I'm hoping that both of those kind of, the elder voices on the teams will help them stay focused as this basically grand finals match progresses to the tiebreaker map.
Yeah, some of these players being here before, being in playoff positions is a huge help, especially for those players that haven't been, being those voices of reason to chill everyone out and focus up. Really, really can mean everything.
So, Sunny, who are you looking to be the kind of star players, the standout performers on map number 3?
I mean, Busta McNasty had an insane upward match. Like, he straight up won the second half of upward for his team. But I don't think he really showed up too much on Asheville. Like, it's not like he did too terrible, but I want him to show up like he did on upward again and make that difference. And on the other side, I really want to see the sniper come back out from Wicked. I mean, we saw the Huntsman come out, and he really popped off with the Huntsman. I don't think he's going to stay on it per se, because I don't think Lakeside is like the map for it, but I think like he is a very in his own head kind of player, where now that he's got those Huntsman picks, maybe he's going to pick up that sniper rifle and feel himself more and get a lot of picks with the sniper rifle as well.
Sure, especially on a map like Lakeside. I mean, it's so free for Sniper to stand on the bats, stand in the sniper's nest, in ruins, in bathhouse, like pretty much anywhere you go. That's number one, high ground, and number two, on your own side of the map is just free real estate, more or less. I also think to people like, especially Lenny is a monster, like playing on the other team's high ground, right? Playing on the other team's ruins, getting those forward holds. So yeah, tell me a little bit about Asheville. Do you see a lot of forward holds in this division, or do you think teams are going to like kind of bunker down more?
So we actually saw a bit of a forward hold coming out from Blue Team, that being Animan Studios. They did try a little bit of a forward hold. It didn't really get too far because they did lose their demo to Sniper on Asheville. But I mean, the intention's there, right? Like they were willing to hold forward on Asheville. I think like they will do it again, right? Not maybe just on this map, but other maps. Maybe we're not going to see them tonight, but Animan definitely is an aggressive team, and aggressive holds is definitely something that they'd be willing to try.
Excellent. Well, we're looking at these teams, I guess, getting in the last of their discussions. I'll always appreciate, here we have Earl, the scout player for Ceviche, where when you're in the bathroom, join spectate. It lets people know you're gone. It lets people know when you're back. They don't have to ask, is everyone here? Who's missing? Who's not? Just be polite. Join spectate today. I'm Rogue, and I like to watch. Join spectate. Thank you for listening.
Spectate.
Well, I guess I'll ask, have there been any like sort of pitfalls between these teams? Maybe someone who's struggled a little bit with their Ubers, or a team that kind of doesn't play the point as much as they should, maybe, or maybe a side that doesn't play around their sniper or get enough sniper picks, things like that.
I did mention that on Astral, Animan Studios did lose their first 2 rounds due to a lack of aggression, and I think like if that does peer out again, maybe because of the map change, we'll have Animan Studios maybe not take that full aggression like they did on Asheville that made them win the Asheville, but that was pretty much their major downside. On the other side, CDT, I feel like their demo was dying a lot. I don't really have like a particular X reason why demo was dying a lot, but if they can like clean up their demo deaths and just work together more as a combo and have that demo alive for those fights, really would make a difference.
Interesting, understood. Yeah, I think Asheville is such a different beast. I think partially because it hasn't been in the map pool for a while, so teams aren't as seasoned on it, and also partially because it's so different from the other maps, right? It's so wide open, and I guess whatever problems you would have on other maps, you don't have here. Whatever problems you have here, you don't have on other maps. So yeah, I guess this really kind of has the teams putting their money where their mouth is and adjust, adapt, find your way back into this game, see what you can make happen on the server. Keep us in, keep us on the edge of our seats here as we're biting our nails in anticipation. As also, I think the config might be wrong. I see a little bit of 3 dots on the top of our screen. Either way, hoping these teams get ready soon. But in the meantime, yeah, I'm hoping they also kind of take the time they need to sort of adjust and, like we said, discuss with our team. Like, hey, here's what worked for us. Here's what didn't. Let's kind of show up our weaknesses, play off our strengths, see what we can make happen.
Yeah, both teams definitely been doing that in between halves, and it's been working for them. Like the amount of adjustments and stuff being seen throughout the series is kind of crazy.
So, yeah, it looks like we might take a little bit of a break until these teams ready up. And don't forget, we have a 90-second warning here in STV, being here from the past, casting you to the future. So either way, we'll take a little break and come back to you when the game starts running up. You. Oh, got it. Coming in.
Perfect timing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Welcome back. We have Animan winning the mid as we enjoyed our time in the little casters room. Right now, sorry, yeah, Ceviche, whoops, wins the mid here. So that's Punish on 70% Uber advantage. They win the mid. They're actually already very quickly set up in Bathhouse here. So Norfolk on that very long sight line, but so quickly Animan is charging their medic up this dry fight to start getting cap time and kind of force them out of Bathhouse.
Yeah, and we do see the sniper set up from the side of Animan with his soldier, and I mean the exchange does come out. A lot of players dying from the side of both teams, but I mean, it doesn't look like there is a solid winner of this fight just yet. Blue team still does have the point, but Animan wants it back.
A lot of damage happening out here, and I like this positioning from Earl, kind of like basically peeking and shoving players off the point who are capping. Actually, now getting a little greedy and might even go down for it, trying to grab Tyler the Destroyer, but Earl lives for now. The high ground still staying in favor of Ceviche, so, but losing, actually, wow, a lot of chase back and forth, and even Punish going down in their own main to Pupper.
And yeah, now we see the reverse bomb coming in, and that is going to be a good kill on a Crump, from Hyperion, and Drexo coming in, trying to get some clean up any kind of damage, but there just isn't enough for him to get picks from, and he is going to have to hide in the pool, and is kind of just playing his time here. And finally, the point is going to be capped from the side of Animan. Going for the pool hold as well, getting their heavy in position, getting their sniper in position, and yeah, Applezoo kind of peeking more aggressive towards point. We do see Busta McNasty actually in pool. He is maybe going to maybe get a stab onto sniper here. He looks like he wants to go for it, but he is going to fall off, and CDT looking to put in some pressure from the bottom right again, trying to maybe get some edge cap time with Earl, but I mean, Untamed walking all the way out to the point, not giving them any space, and I mean, the mini going down. Red team leaving pool to meet them on point, and I mean, that's just going to be CDT leaving and just giving up this fight.
Ubers are evening out here. There's such a long way to go, but actually they kind of come in uncontested and use sort of just out of politeness, sheer courtesy of a pop here. And,
the handshake Uber.
Who says chivalry is dead? But now, okay, both Ubers kind of come out and wow, Eddie kind of threading that needle, finding that timing to do the most damage you can. Kind of grab when they least expect, and Crump and Squid is barely squeaking their way back out main. Okay, so Punish manages to finish with the rest of their team on the high ground, and Drexo moving forward across the enemy ruins here to kind of spot out anyone coming out through tunnel.
All right, so I mean, we do see CDT get completely pushed out of pool, and Animan is trying to refight this from pool, maybe? I mean, they have decent cap time. They have their scout on the point, about to die. Really not what you want to see when you're trying to edge the cap like that. And I mean, Hyperion also gonna die on the point alone. And I mean, trades going out from both sides. I mean, it is looking in the favor of the side from CDT. Animan losing their one too many players, but they are gonna still Uber onto their Pyro, take the exchange. I mean, Teets is kind of too deep, gonna die with the Uber. And kind of questioning that Uber, but it's all good. I mean, CDT still just holding the point. They do have Eddie on. Bats rotating all the way behind main, trying to shoot Applezoo in the back. Drexo collapsing at the same time, and I mean, Animan has nowhere to go except the point from Eddie, and I mean, that's just not where they want to be, and I mean, that's going to be a really great cleanup from CDT to just take the point.
Yeah, Drexo shoving across point here to clean up basically the last of the frags, and there we go. Round number 1 for Ceviche. Here on the tiebreaker map, where each team won the other team's map pick in this main grand finals. Quick question for you, Sunny. Who is the upper bracket winner?
The upper bracket winner is Animan.
Got it. Understood. So if Ceviche wins this, then we have a bracket reset, right, and play again next week.
Yes, sir.
Here we go into mid number 2 on map number 3 in this initial round of the grand finals. Assuming that Nasty goes for a stab onto the demo and has to think better of it and then worse of it and then better still, but manages to survive, run towards the enemy bathhouse where Drexo is even hiding on, what is that, 50 HP on heavy.
I just want to say Pupper on that mid. He stabbed the demo and the medic while getting shot by the pyro the whole time. That was really funny.
Brilliant. And Buster McNasty does get a demo pick in return. So losing Untamed this late, and when you have the point, you have a later and slower respawns. So, whoa! Wait, actually, mega pipe from Hyperion onto Crump and forces the Uber. Teats McGee flying across point. Pupper has the work in the right time and grabs punish.
That's the second med pick of this round already. And yeah, just good cleanup from Blue. Looking like they're going to go for a pool hold. I mean, they do get the point, but I mean, I don't know if they're really going to go for the pool hold anymore. It looks like their players are leaving the point to support their sniper on the point. And yeah, Untamed looking to push up with a scout on from the bottom right. And I mean, Busta getting a big pick on the sniper, and it's going to really deny their push. It's not. I mean, Red Team is really going to continue with this push, even though their medic is half HP and their demo's dead. And, or sorry, not demo, their pyro died. And it's just really not looking good for Animan. This fight is Earl trying to fight as much as he can, but he is alone. But he is going to get the 3K just to die to a sniper body shot.
Amazing from Earl. First play in their life to not die from like afterburn and stuff like that. And then once they got the beam, they went back in to keep that pressure up, get the 3K. Job well done. Punish on a 90% Uber ad coming up with Uber right about now. But wait a second, I take it completely back because Pupper gets a frag here. And right now there's a salvage going across, you know, with this massive dis ad where Rabbit goes in, Drexo goes in, we're on to Crump. There's, I don't know, maybe 50 damage into Crump so far. Busta McNasty, Earl, everyone kind of waiting.
Earl going for a second to Crump. Oh, he almost killed Crump.
Still nothing. So there we go. Right now, Animan is able to hold the point, get set up in whatever kind of hold they like, and enjoy this 60% Uber advantage.
Yeah, Refight coming back in, though, almost immediately. And, I mean, they do have some players, but, I mean, they are losing Eddie and Drexo already. I mean, they get a soldier in return, but, I mean, they lost Rabbit as well. They're going to get Ubered into. And Punish actually dies to Untamed. So, I mean, there's the Uber ad coming back towards the side of Animan. But Medic dies to Crump.
Amazing shot, yeah, from Norfolk there, grabbing Crump, and that's the kind of salvage you need. We saw a little bit of hustle coming out of Hyperion as well, going for the sack. But hey, when your medic's dead, you're not really going to do very much for the next 20 seconds, so you may as well salvage and kind of clear that for your team. Oh, TSVG going down to Earl's bleed weapons. You know, it's always tough to see.
Gotta love the toys.
I think Applezoo, there was no pack up yet, so Applezoo ducked into the water, waiting for the pack to respawn. Rabbit Drexo fighting for it, but Wide Face and Pepper went out in Bathhouse, so a lot of picks going in favor of Animan here.
Yeah, Busta trying to do what he can to maybe try and get a pick of his own in return, but not enough. And Pupper on the other side, killing Punish again, this time with the revolver. So, looks like we are not going to see an Uber out of CDT by the time they have to go fight this point. And Animan just content with playing pool here with their Uber charge. I mean, do they have Uber yet? They're just about to have. Crump does take a pipe, though, so he is pretty weak before this Uber. He does get the pack, so they are playing passive, just waiting to get this Uber, and it looks like they are just...
Yeah, Untamed grabs actually Punish in the middle of that fray. So Crump sits here on full Uber. 10 seconds left on the clock. Basically just using to keep players alive. Say, oh, actually not keeping everyone alive. Busta finds a little bit of a victim here on point. Earl sneaks in behind, and Busta even decloaks Disguise, gets a little bit of a heal beam, and that's okay. But
Earl gets 2!
That's the swing we needed, huh?
And he gets a 3rd with the pistol, and I mean, now the bomb's gonna come in from Applezoo, but it's pretty easy to deny with the mini, so... The round's not over yet. I'll be honest, I thought that round was over.
Same here, yeah, they have to defend for a whole minute, but listen, they have Uber advantage. I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, that's a really late... oh no, there we go. Norfolk has spawned in Bathhouse, but so far away from the team. Trexo playing in the water, playing a little bit of a head glitch, but thinks better of it. Wow, Untamed and Hyperion both getting flung back, both demos just exploding, I guess, all over the point. And as, yeah, kind of even trades across the point both ways. Punish finally uses this Uber onto Earl, save Earl. Wait, save Hyperion, save 22.
Earl dies anyway. Hyperion's about to die anyway.
Yeah, they had the right idea of taking this ad Uber into them, but they got surrounded basically by the players in Pool House. Really well played out of Wideface.
Yeah, are you trying to salvage whatever he can? I mean, there is the Uber coming out, but it's not enough, and 1-1.
It's all tied up on the tiebreaker map. Welcome to the main grand finals.
It really is the definition of close.
Let's see, Hyperion and Untamed getting here about the same time, about the same HP. Earl actually really quick, could have had a quick frag onto Untamed, and Crump actually missing the arrow onto Untamed, so Earl kind of smelling blood a little bit, and this is ambitious in a way that's
Earl,
exciting but ill-advised, yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, pool fight was won by Animan, who just took the control, and CDT just let them have it. So, I mean, not any picks, but I mean, just all the space, and Popper, another big pick for him. He is really getting these frags.
Animan kind of postured here across the point. Busta McNasty, ready to get down and dirty here, actually just goes down for it. But, alright, so now there's really no threats here if you're the side of Animan. And there's the push coming through main where Animan wasn't really looking main. Finally, Tyler starts getting the angle into main, but it's too late. Hyperion, Punish, Earl, they're all through and they use the Uber.
Yeah, Earl taking a lot of this Uber, but stuff both sides. I mean, Red's Uber is much better. But Blue staying in the fight. Looks like they're going to try and refight it. Animan rotating out of pool. Unsure if they want to stay in pool or not, it looks like. While CDT looks like they're trying to refight pool. I mean, trade's going in the side of... I mean, they're kind of even, but the sniper on the right side of point is going to get pressured out. I mean, Simon just walks onto... What the heck is going on, man?
So much damage traded here, but listen, that's why Bathhouse is so strong here. Even with players down, Wideface just has to peek out a little bit. Untamed has to peek out a little bit. Finally, Untamed goes down for it, but Wideface back all the way in at full HP. Squid on full HP. Applezoo on full HP. Yeah, you just have to delay this point as long as you can, and then, well, you're in the round, I guess.
Yeah, Earl trying to fight left side point, gets sniped for his efforts, but I mean, Crump force, so... I mean, Ubers are going to be fairly even out, but I mean, all this cap time coming up for the side of Animan is really not what you want to see as CDT, but finally getting out, finally getting their demo in position. Just a dry fight that isn't really resulting in any picks or cap time so far. And Pool all in the favor of Animan. So, big damage coming out from Applezoo onto the demo, but I mean, a big pick from Popper on Norfelt and Eddie, and Drexel going down as well, and that's going to be about the fight pretty much over.
Yeah, you nailed it, Sunny, on that dubious pacing. The thing is, for Ceviche, they had to like win fast and win now. So for them to push forward quickly, they did a great job, and then they sat in their own yard and didn't play point, didn't play picks, nothing. So, you know, if you play the low ground long enough, then we find out why the low ground is bad.
Exactly, and I mean, we are going to see an Uber exchange happen in pool. I mean, Pyro stuffing the blue team back out of pool, but I mean, big damage coming in from Eddie, getting the flank from point, and now, I mean, this point is opened up, but Pupper trying to get some picks on the backside, but not getting them, and I mean, Animan's just kind of hiding in pool while CDT run over the point, and Crump's still gonna live with his life for now, but kind of in a dangerous spot.
Uber's basically even, basically half for each team. Untamed basically taking the bull by the horns here, just shoving forward, spamming this damage, and creating so much space for the team. Right now, we want to see the rest of Animan take that space, but whoa, gets blasted down basically by a combination of 22 Hyman, Simon, I guess that would be, and the rest of the team. Right now, Earl and Squid fighting with pool noodles, I think, on the far side of the point, shooting a lot of shots, but no damage. First Uber coming out from Crump, following real quick by Punish. Punish having to keep everyone alive. They're on half HP, so Crump's Uber ends first. Punishes last longer, but they were hurt, so... Drexo, I think, was the difference maker here, but Tyler shoots Drexo from way downtown. The thing is, it feels like Ceviche is losing this hold, but over so long that they're kind of getting respawns now.
Yeah, there is no cap time on the top side from Animan until just now, and their scout dies for it, so... They have pool, but, I mean, they don't have the point, right? They're getting, like... Norfeld just fighting close blank. I don't know what that was, but I mean, Applezoo does die in return. Punish kind of cut out on his own. It looks like CDT are just fully committing for this. They don't want to. They don't want to back off. They don't care about losing the point. They're going for the refight right away, trying to get whatever heals they can. And Animan backing off, using Uber. Punish gonna get Uber in time. Uses. I mean, Eddie does get dropped in the Uber, so...
Oh, hopefully this fight lasts long enough for Ceviche to get the respawners. But actually, wait, Drexo going in late, but Wideface going in even later, and Busta getting the stab. The Heavies have so much HP in overtime that it's so tough to, like, kind of appease
Yeah, the
them.
cap time is running out for Drexo. Drexo has to get on the point, and the air blast from Teats isn't enough to get him off it, though.
It's somebody on point. Ko finally just doing something on point. Even the mini is doing a little bit of damage from all the way across from main. Drexo trying to back up again after just eating a sandwich. Probably has another one on deck right about now. Both teams with no Ubers. Both teams getting most of their spawners now. There's a minute on the clock for Ceviche to cap as soon as Animan gets us to get the round.
Norfolk dies early in this fight. This is really bad for the side of blue now, and I mean... They do get the return picks. That is 4 kills. So, I mean, this hold is going to be pretty solid from the side of blue as long as they can play their heals and lives. And, I mean, Crump being caught in by Earl. Earl just needs to kill the meta, and he does. And, I mean, this is just a full solid cleanup from the side of blue here. CDT looking to take this round.
Yeah, full Uber as well. This is like the nail in the coffin, basically, for Punish to have this full Uber. Anyone who gets close to the point is shooting the statues, basically, these shining, shimmering, metallic Uber players. Yeah, taking the Uber straight across point, no one can touch it. Do not pass go, do not click 200. There we go. Ceviche taking the start of Lakeside 2-1. And remember, it's the first of 4 wins this tiebreaker map, wins this match here in what could be the first round of Grand Finals.
Yeah, if CDT win, they move on to the bracket reset, and Animan Studios win. That's Grand Finals main for you. There's your champions.
Let's see. I'll see if I can pull up the stats really quick. And yeah, I think my personal favorite class to watch Well, maybe is Zukima on heavy on Lakeside, but other than that, is Scout on Lakeside. I think is fantastic, right? Because there's so much ground to cover, and kind of anyone who peeks that point is going to get shot by a massive damage of the Scout. So seeing Earl here at the top of the scoreboard is always a piece to my heart. But actually, Busta McNasty tying for the top frags and actually like 100 more DPM even than the top fragger who tied for the same number of frags on Earl. Fantastic out of both of them. These are both of these players are not only making these big plays and kind of showing us that they're putting the numbers up on the board as the round's going on, but it's the impact as well, right? You know, for Earl to get not just a 3K, but a 3K under the combo, and for Busta McNasty to get kind of those linchpins who are like the people orchestrating the holds and then allow their team to follow up. What sticks out to you on the stats here, Sunny?
Honestly, I'm really surprised by Earl. Like, I know he was doing quite a bit of damage, but I wasn't surprised. I'm surprised he was doing that much damage, right? Like, Scout doing 374 DPM, kind of crazy, especially when put in perspective. This is a lower division where your Scouts aren't hitting every shot, right? That kind of damage on a Scout is crazy. No disrespect to the other Scout though. Like, the other Scout's also doing really good damage. So, I mean, both Scouts are playing well. It's just, I don't know. I feel like teams are kind of letting these Scouts run loose, if you will.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned, like you said, with Scout running loose all over the point, you would kind of look to your sniper to pick them off basically when they overstep their boundaries. But Tyler here actually on 11 and 20 compared to Norfol's 21 and 13. So the sniper fight going squarely in favor of Norfolk, but also Tyler not really able to get those sort of free picks, you know, and not really getting those like obvious picks onto the scout like you'd find. Actually, both of these spies are kind of going nuts on the sniper. 8 and 6 sniper picks for each of the spies. So almost half of these sniper deaths are to each of the spies, which is great for something for a map like Lakeside because snipers have such long sight lines. What else sticks out to you?
One thing I've really noticed was like you mentioned the sniper. I just wanted to add on to that was on Asheville the first half, the same kind of thing happened where Norfell was topping the scoreboard while Wicked was kind of bottoming the scoreboard, and then actually Wicked swapped to the Huntsman, and that's when we started seeing the Huntsman on Asheville, and that's after then they won 4 rounds in a row with I think after that it was actually Wicked on top of the scoreboard. So I don't know. I'm not suggesting that he swaps to it or anything, but there was definitely something going on here. I don't think he's winning the SVS as much as he would like to be.
Sure, makes sense. Something else I look at here is the medics have the same deaths, which is a good sign. And I think even more crucially, or less obviously, the demos have the same deaths. Anyone who maybe has watched Highlander for a long time, or just TF2 in general, it's like, oh, getting more kills is good and getting more damage is good. But for a classic demo, you do so much in terms of area denial and in allowing your team to use Ubers, where imagine your medic has 3 more Ubers, but none of them have a demo in it, right? That's not really useful. So for the demos to kind of stay alive and, well, not stay alive, or stay dead, I should say, as much as each other, that's kind of a promising aspect to the match. And medics having the same deaths, another promising aspect. So that hopefully will kind of give us basically a baseline where either of these teams can find their way back into the game. Like, hey, listen, if Tyler's hot in this round and Norfolk's not so hot, maybe then we're back in. And kind of same thing for the scouts, right? Earl and Squid, if one of them wakes up and the other one not so much. I mean, Squid did great too. I mean, they both scouts had the same number of deaths, but Squid just happened to have 4 fewer frags. Like, that's not a lot. So really, we saw why these teams are so close in this start of the round so far, and also, of course, in this match to begin with.
Yeah, both these teams are fairly even, and going into it, I think I was very expecting these teams to be even, but wasn't expecting the Busta McNasty to pull out as much as he is. He's kind of pulling his own weight and a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited where sometimes it's tough for spies to kind of find their way, especially really late into a match like this, right? Where you kind of think like, okay, if a spy has been cold in the match, you don't really have to adapt yet, right? There's nothing to protect yourself from if they're not really doing anything anyway. If a spy's hot, you adapt quick. So to find these picks and find this impact really late in the night, I mean, we're past hour 3. We're in the long haul. You know, for this Highlander match to be going this long, people are getting weary. Their eyes are drooping. You're bloodshot. You're getting the bags under them. It's tough to spy check, you know, like we used to. So yeah, I'm really excited that these spies are able to find innovations basically and to make an impact on such a late stage of a match.
For sure.
Here we have a little bit of time to ourselves. Yeah, we could take a quick break. That sounds great. We'll come back when the team's ready up. But I'm going nowhere this time, so I'll be here for mid. Catch you at the upcoming mid. See you soon.
Welcome back to Highlander main grand finals between XDT and Animan Studios. And we see an early bomb coming back from Eddie, kind of getting shot by Scout. Earl kind of helping his Scout here, making his Scout fall off, and there's so much early pressure from the left side of point coming in from the heavy. But I mean, we're going to see Animan take that pressure right back, and lots of trades coming in the favor of the side of red. And I mean, that is going to be the mid fight from the side of Animan Studios. Take it pretty convincingly, even some good sniper kills while they leave.
Right now, Animan is set all the way up in bathhouse, except Tyler, who is way forward on the enemy bats, thinks better of it as they get all of their spawns at once. But okay, we're now set up in this forward hold. Pupper on a great spot to spot. Basically, everyone is coming through and more. Drexel and Eddie peeking their way towards bathhouse. Busta McNasty clearing out the far side of the point. And Punish, Hyperion taking the super in. Crump and Untamed clapping back. Tease McGee even getting a flash here. Not really too much to show for it as the supers fade, except Simon flies forward and gets a quick 2K, and even Untamed goes down to it. So this is phenomenal for the side of the offense, you know, the team that doesn't have the point. Wide-faced Crump, kind of the only ones left. Even Drexo is on 13 HP. Okay, backs up, hides from it, and they'll enjoy the point. They'll get healed back up, and then decide what kind of hold they would like.
Yeah, decent push coming from CDT there, looking to opt to play behind the point instead of Pool, giving up Pool actually completely while Animan Studios looks to edge this left side of point. Their sniper on the right alone. Earl sees that, denies him the space, and I mean, CDT getting that Pool space back, gonna start shooting some players in the back while they try and cap, and I mean, they do just give up so much cap time though, so Animan taking the point, and Earl getting so much space in their face, getting the force, and now it's just gonna be an exchange. Earl trying to get aggressive, not having the beam on him though. He's gonna get dropped in the Uber, so I mean, he does get a pick before he gets dropped, and his Uber was better, so his team is gonna win the fight.
Working away now, yeah, with this 20%, basically 25 now for Punish over Crump. We are getting set up here in Bathhouse. Wow, the clocks are so even. What a game we have on our hands, huh? Eddie and Rabbit are trying to hold down Bathhouse, but they're not getting support from their team, so they actually go down really early, and they're going to have those really long... Sorry, Eddie's still alive for now. But they're going to have these really long respawn timers, at least for Rabbit. Earl goes down quick as well. This is the problem with playing on the low ground when you have the point, right? You just let them cap and damage you. The worst of both worlds.
Yeah, it's not the first time it's happened. Here. So, it looks like Animan's rotating to try and get into Pool. I mean, Busta tries to stop them, but I mean, just the delay in the timing from Busta doesn't let them so much to get into Pool, and I mean, CDT has the point. This point has gone back and forth so many times between these two teams, and the time has stayed the same. It's crazy. And now we're going to see another exchange come out onto the point, mainly on to Simon here. The Pyro really just going to deny space. Not too many picks on either side of the Uber, and now the post. Earl trying to fight two people, dying early on the left side, and I mean, there's trades going both sides of the point. We see soldiers bombing and dying. Heavy's now dying both sides, and I mean, we are going to see with Animan, who finally does take space and starts edging the point. Simon trying to contest a little bit too late, but I mean, is this fight over? It looks like it's finally over. It's hard to tell.
It's not over till it's over, and it might be over, but it also might not be over until it's over.
Hyperion going down to very low HP, not able to... just doesn't get the pick. I mean, the cap is half for blue so far. I mean, red is still playing behind the point, not really denying as much as they want to on the low ground. And we're going to see a third Uber exchange in a row, just kind of sitting on the Pyros, air blasting each other. I mean, this one looks like Teets gets a little bit of medic damage, but dies for it. So, I mean, that is at least one pick on the side for CDT, and the cap still being half, not really getting too much done. Untamed finally trying to walk on the left side, doesn't have Bean to support him. He's going to be very low. I'm surprised he doesn't die there. On the other side, I mean, blue finally caps the point. CDT does control Pool at the same time, not really getting all the space they want, but they have the point at least.
Yeah, look at the space here. They're kind of spreading out where the combos are across the point, their flank is in Bathhouse, and it doesn't feel super coordinated, but it's also so sticky, right? Where you can't really upheave one without getting bashed by the other. Even Ko on Engineer is shoving across the point, trying to make something happen. Finally, point cap coming down, Norful is down, but Tyler's down too. The Ubers come out on point, and yeah, look at this, the Pyro's blasting back. Doberman holding high ground. Hyperion, woo, slides back from the thickest from Untamed. Surfs those out to safety. Even Simon gets an arrow from Punish in this forward point. In this, like, I don't know. The
huge bomb from Apple Zoo. Gets the med. Pretty much gets the demo. I mean, overtime is going to be secured, but it's not going to be enough. Eddie's going to go for a bomb of his own, gets the demo. It's going to be delayed spawn as well, but I mean, his spawn's pretty delayed as well. Blue not having everyone they really want to fight this right away. They're down their scout and soldier still.
This is the time to run a quick fix, by the way. You're not going to have another Uber, so you may as well just have your massive regenerative healing and tank your heavy or your scout or something like that, your pyro even. But right now, yeah, they try and get close to point, they can't. Just everyone from Animan is shoved forward onto that point, and they get another round themselves. So the match, I believe, is tied now at 2-2.
Yes, it is.
Here we go, the tiebreaker map here in the main grand finals, or I should say the first grand finals, or like the pretty grand finals. Working our way onto mid here. Eddie actually walking across the point and dies to Pupper, getting a backstab. Earl buying a lot of space, and it feels like there's some good movement basically on the side of Ceviche, but they lose too many players too quickly, so they back all the way up to spawn. Actually, they're not taking any chances. Drexo and Busta McNasty are the only ones who dare stay forward.
Yeah, Busta trying to get in the pool, and he's about to stab the sniper until he sees the snipers on Razorback, and gets denied his stab. But on the other side, CDT trying to maybe get a sack wave in. There's Hyperion in pool trying to maybe get some stickies out. Crump still half HP, not gonna get the force, and that's the power of the pool hold, right? Where you have multiple walls all around you. You have players that can watch the tiny little entrances, and your medic gets to stay safe. Norfeld, big pick on the sniper there. So, I mean, Blue's going to walk in here without having to fear sniper sidelines. I mean, Ubers are going to be about even now. Or are they about even? Punish is not having Uber here. So, I mean, this is ad actually for Animan Studios, although they are not going to get on to Punish here. Earl going to get healed up, going to go back to capping the point. Wideface trying to push out the point, but I mean, it is not looking that great. I mean, Applezoo does bomb the point, does get an NG pick, half HP on the point, trying to spam out whatever he can, but I mean, this point is going to go to the point of CDT finally. Good time coming off the block, though, for Animan Studios.
Yeah, Animan did a great job there in the kind of salvage, right? Where you try and do your best plays, you set everything up and play off each other, but at some point things don't go well and you got to just say, screw it, go, just go. And they did a great job, I think, of delaying the point, buying an extra, like, honestly, 15-20 seconds from that kind of salvage there, which gives Crump a little more time to build Uber, gives their players enough time to get buffs to kind of orchestrate this push they want to get, and of course the time of the clock is nothing to sneeze at. Crump here on 60%, but they're down to actually two of their power classes, two of the most, like, highest HP players are already gone. So as Crump and Untamed are trying to do damage across point, here comes the Uber from Punish in the Hyperion.
Yeah, this Uber is going to chase all of Animan out. We're going to see a late bomb from Eddie, who doesn't get the pick, but I mean, it does get the force. So Crump on point, half HP, doesn't really get punished for it, but I mean, this point can go either way so far. This fight is not really set in stone. Earl really aggressive on the enemy side of point, trying to maybe get some kills, but I mean, CDT finally putting in some pressure on the other side of point, and I mean, Animan Studios all the way out looking for heals and buffs and maybe try and crack at this mid another way.
Taking the fight all the way from the long shot by like the lake side of the point, where Norfolk does have a good angle, except it feels like Animan is in so fast every time they're trying to take this angle that it's not a problem to peek in the sniper sight line.
Yeah, Animan fighting the point here with their pyro. Really good tanking onto their pyro. I mean, their demo isn't really spamming for them. There's a really good sightline from Drexo coming from pool. Really deny them. We're going to see an Uber exchange come out. Hyperion kind of caught out, does get flashed in time, and Teet's really aggressive on point. I mean, CDT coming with the flank from pool is going to maybe get some picks. I mean, they don't really get anything, and in return, Crump does go down to Drexo, actually, who's peeking from pool, so these pool players having a huge impact on the mid-fights.
so much cap time from the side of Animan Studios. We'll see if they can kind of get to point fast enough. There's only 20 seconds left, and we have a pause on our hands.
Woo! I love late games.
I think this is a great opportunity to appreciate the youthful vigor of these lower divisions. You know, some of us who have been around the block for a long time are quite old, and you know, the early bird special has only so much tapioca pudding left for me to enjoy at I don't know, whatever time old people wake up. It's probably like 5. So I'll have to just fantasize about that as we find ourselves here at almost 1 a.m. on the East Coast for just 3 maps. So we're now, you know, pushing hour number 4.
Yippee!
No, but it's all right. You know, I'd rather these teams take whatever time they need. Like, if there's an actual problem, please stop the game. It goes long, sure, but you got to take the time if someone disconnects, if someone's got an internet problem, whatever. Nothing has been made clear to us yet, but as soon as we find out any information, we'll relay it to the people back home.
Yeah, I'm sure these players wouldn't delay unless they needed to. I'm sure with the time of night it is, they wouldn't want to stay on the game as long as they are.
Maybe now is a good time to check in with the invite grand finals. No way. That's insane. A grand finals reset for invite in that case.
Yep.
Witness Gaming takes the maps were, let me think, it was Steel, or sorry. Yeah, gotcha. So Vigil was won by Team Fun, I think 2-0. And then Astral was won by Witness. Oh, sorry, Lakeside, thanks. Wow. Lakeside, yeah, was won by Team Fun 4-0. Next map was Steel, which was won by Witness Gaming, which I'm actually very excited to see. That's got to be a ton of fun. And then map number 3 was Asheville, which was won 4-3 by Witness Gaming for the grand finals reset. So anyone may be unfamiliar, when you're playing a double elimination playoffs, you know, sometimes it sucks. Maybe you have an off day, maybe things aren't going so right, so you happen to lose. In a normal playoffs bracket, you're just out of the tournament forever. Double elimination means you have 2 lives, right? So here in Maine, we have the same thing where Animan Studios won, you know, their first round and their second round of playoffs. And actually, I think that's enough to get you into grands already. But then Team Ceviche happened to lose one of their matches along the way. And so, you know, Ceviche lost 1 life. Animan Studios has 2 lives still. So if Animan wins this, they win all of Maine. If Ceviche wins, then they remove one of the 2 lives of Animan. And Animan, there's like a bracket reset, or sorry, like a grand finals reset, basically. So that's what we saw in Invite. That's what we're investigating here in Maine. We'll see which way this goes. Yeah, in either case, that's insane. I mean, Team Fun smashed Witness Gaming in the lower bracket. Sorry, in the upper bracket finals, which was last week. I forget which maps they were, but it was not close. And so for Team Fun to crumble here, number 1 to crumble, number 2 let Steel through. God, listen, a man like Zukima on Steel. Either way, do you have any thoughts there, Sunny?
I mean, obviously it's a big upset, and I mean, I'm just glad to see more Invite Highlander top level. I mean, any kind of close competition at the highest level is obviously great to watch. And one thing I just want to bring up is that, I mean, in Maine, we have the exact same scenario kind of going on here if CDT do win this map, because they kind of did get stomped in the winners finals bracket, and then I mean they brought it back here, and now they're map 3 very close and could go to a bracket reset.
Maybe might be a good time to go to another break if we're feeling it. I mean, I don't know. Pauses are a little harder because normally for rounds we have a little bit of a warning, but for pauses, it's just you stop and then you go again. It's actually for. Sorry, I just had a quick point that it's really unique. I think in TF2 to have a pause mid round, and I love it because in other games it's like I don't know, Counter-Strike has like round resets and stuff like that, but then it's like, oh, but if any damage was done in the round, then it's not a reset. And so it's tough. And in other games, yeah, it's you basically are kind of stuck with whatever kind of state you started in or where you're gonna go. But for us to just say, hey, something happened right now, we pause right now, I feel like we're really lucky to have that capability. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, and not only that, but all like the plugins that the community made, like the Uber Charge plugins and all the extra stuff that we've like the community has made to help us as a community run these competitive games has been a huge help.
Yeah, it looks like we'll head to a little break here and catch you all very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're returned from the pause. So, yeah, now that we're back in the game, we have ourselves at the score of 2-2 for both of these teams. There's an Uber coming out onto point. And a quick reminder for everyone that the pause actually happened like 90 seconds in the future of wherever we are in the game right now. So we'll see kind of everyone maybe freeze and unfreeze, a little bit of a chat thing. I'll let you know when it happens if I see it. Either way, what we're watching right now has Crump with a huge Uber ad, but actually Crump has the point as well. So what you want to do here is just kind of hold on to the point and sit here with it for a good long while. Pizza McGee is running interference by shoving everyone back, whoever's speaking point. But wow, 6 players all push point at once. They get 2 picks and force the Uber from Crump. Finally, Untamed and Teats McGee use the Uber, sure, but bam, Norfolk gets sniped. Bam, Busta McNasty gets down and dirty with it. Even Crump, whoa, goes down to these wicked shots from, let's see, that was Eddie, all the way in Bathhouse. So the point cap all the way goes down finally to the side of Ceviche.
Yeah, and that's going to be 3-2 now for the side of CDT. And that's going to be where the pause was, and we're good. And so we're going to see a maybe final mid fight coming out here from the side of CDT, or maybe the second last if Animan can take the round. Go do a golden cap. So immediately, Eddie going behind on dance floor, trying to shoot some players in the back. We also see another big pick from Wicked onto Hyperion, but what a good sack from Simon into the combo. I mean, Red is trying to play in the pool and just give up whatever space they can, but Eddie with the big flank shooting players in the back, getting denied by Pyro though. And yeah, this is going to be a solid win from the side of Animan Studios, who just kind of played their time, grouped up in pool, and denied the players from killing their medic, and now they're going to sit on some decent ad. And I mean, Blue is kind of just chilling, not really deciding a path to take yet. And Norfell peeking out main. Busta McNasty gets the pick onto Untamed, a good pick to get early, and Hyperion immediately going to start trapping off pool. They get, I mean, the Uber, but I mean, the Uber isn't going to do a whole lot. And in fact, it's actually just going to get a whole lot of red players killed. And so, yeah, Animan's going to leave the point after Ubering. So now we have a decent Uber ad on Punish. And they have the point as well, opting not to sit in pool this time, though.
What an interesting Uber where the side of Animan Studios is like, all right, we're going to send people with this Uber out into the enemies to fight them, but everyone who goes far enough from the beam loses the flash and dies. So, you know, it's feeding a 1 versus 8, 1 versus 8, 1 versus 8, and everyone on Animan just basically died to that, what's it called? You know, the war where, like, you kind of, like, just lose enough of, lose enough around the edges that you kind of can't hold up anymore. War of attrition, that's it. So yeah, they can't kind of hold up into their kind of model that they had by sending people out of Bathhouse. But for now, the Uber is coming up for Crump, and it comes up just in time to flash Untamed Squid.
Hyperion is kind of stuck behind here. I don't know if they're gonna try and find these blue players, but instead, it's actually gonna be Wicked who's gonna get these blue players, getting a third kill this life, and a pretty good one onto the demo, and that's gonna let his team capture the point here. His team's gonna opt to play behind the point, just get healed up. I mean, it's not over. I mean, these times are so even on both sides. Finally, Animan's going to play into pool, maybe try and do something, but there was actually a soldier hiding here, and Eddie gets the kill onto Crump, a huge drop, and that's the kind of play that his team needs to get the point.
Working their way back into the fray here, getting these picks so early, especially onto people like I don't know, Pupper or Squid, Wide Face, going down so quickly into this, allows Punish to come up on the super ad and get ready for basically the onslaught. So as all of the Animan Studios players work their way up through tunnel onto ruins, they're gonna actually work their way into the bathhouse, which is a very good idea. See, Drexel was so hurt he has to leave. Eddie, ooh, T-Spooky, wicked reflect onto Eddie and takes Eddie down as well. So right now, they cleared out Bathhouse. They have the high ground. They have vantage points. Punish and Hyperion are trying to work their way in. Simon as well. Oh, actually, Wideface and Applezu go down. So this isn't, I guess, a bad showing. Oh, but Punish goes down to Tyler in the post-Uber. So right now, both of these teams are getting super scrappy. Hyperion flies in. That's a great timing. Drexo as well. So Crump is going to have huge ad here and start taking a fight with the team.
Yeah, Crump trying to live with this huge ad. Eddie bombing in, and what a shot from Norfell. Norfell just hit a headshot on Crump, who's trying to surf a rocket. That was incredible. This is Maine, by the way.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and when joining us, Animan Studios here on Red is the upper bracket winner. Whew! Nice shot from Tyler onto Hyperion on the 6-kill streak. Anyway, we're on map number 3 in the best of 3 here. If Animan Studios wins it, they take home the gold here for Grand for Grands here in Maine. If Ceviche wins it, then it's a bracket reset. Here on Lakeside, the score is 3-2 for Ceviche.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, CDT just grabbing this point, just capping it, trying to get whatever staggered kills they can. And I mean, they're 20 seconds away here from the bracket reset. Animan Studios has to take this last fight. They have to come in and get picks, and Wideface going down early to Drexo is not how you want to take that fight. And Eddie getting good spam from the flank, and now we see the full Uber ad coming in from Hyperion. Hyperion taking it alone, getting a flash onto the Pyro. They just need kills on the point, and they get it. That is the match. That is the bracket reset for CDT.
Whoa, see you next Monday. See you next Monday. Flooding into chat. Whoo! Listen, whatever's going on next week, you're going to want to be here on the Fireside cast to catch it. Wow, exciting game. I think you put it really great, Sunny, of such a back and forth, and both of these teams showing that they have what it takes to win, but also both of these teams showing that they have these weaknesses people capitalizing on. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on the match?
I mean, honestly, this is one of the most incredible matches I saw. I mean, sure, there are some pauses and it did take a while, but I mean, it was just every round was close. Everything just felt like it was just edge, like everything. Like Lakeside, it was just one team would cap, and then 20 seconds later, the other team would cap, and then there would be an Uber exchange, and then the other team would cap. It was just so back and forth on Lakeside, and it wasn't just Lakeside. Upward, the very first round of this match was a difference of 5 seconds on Upward. Crazy match that we just witnessed.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, you mentioned it so clearly in the way that this is sort of the caliber that we hope to see in a grand finals match, and both of these teams go back and forth. They were able to show strengths on different types of maps and things like that. Nailed it on all accounts. I'm so excited for both of these teams to face each other again, because what do you take away from this, right? You have Koth and Payload takeaways. You have your own map pick versus the other team's map pick. It's really anyone's game next week.
Yeah, and going into next week, like the map picks are going to be a big mind game as well. Like what maps do you even pick? What maps do you even ban? Like these players just beat each other on their own map picks, right? They just went in and shook everything up. So next week is going to be completely different, right? We could see the same maps, but both teams pick each map differently, right? It's just so crazy how this turned out, and I'm so happy I got to cast it.
Hey, cheers. Thanks for having me. Yeah, let's as much as I would love to keep our audience here pushing hour number 4 of this match, instead we'll do shout outs. I'll shout out CEO. Thanks so much for having me, and Sunny. I really appreciate it. Shout out everyone from the advanced finals match that we casted earlier. Shout out to Witness Gaming. I'm so excited for next week. Let's see what you got. What do you got, Sunny?
Shout out Task, our first caster who was here earlier, also asking me to join him and setting this all up. Shout out to our production here at Fireside Cast and Siyo himself. And shout out to my Highlander team and all the homies watching.